sports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, a week ago, we were writing the obituary. Rotation gutted, bats ice cold, season slipping away. And now, D-backs have ripped 2 straight off in St. Louis. 9 runs on the Cardinals yesterday. You got a rookie named Lou James Gruber. Hits his first home run of his big league life. Ketel Marte locked in right behind him. Tonight, 4:45, our time, they'll go for a third win. And if they get it, the buyer or seller talk gets a whole lot louder. But the biggest story is in our own backyard. The World Cup is here. Turkey has been training up the road at Arizona Athletic Grounds in Mesa. They play Team USA tonight at SoFi. The USA Paraguay pulled a $27.5 million number. Australia drew a $20 million number. And when I say dollar, that is ratings. And they both outdrew the NBA Finals, the World Series, and the Stanley Cup. So here's the debate that runs all afternoon. Has America finally become a soccer country? Or is it just once in every 4 years that we get this fling? Got Michelob Ultra pouring here at all 5 Twin Peaks, is where the Deer Valley location. And here's what we got over the next 3 hours. Got sports professor Ray Coro will join us, talk about the business side. Suns trade up for hometown kid, Go Pete. We know that. Smart swing, or did they overpay? We got Rick Kamala, former NBA analyst for NBA TV. He will break that down. Throwback Thursday, my sit down with Alex Rodriguez 17 years ago. We'll have that for you. Got my Rock's Man Vice, the new king of fast food, and a $128,000 robot cop fired with 0 arrests. Got the money line, much, much more. Got a bunch of guests as well. Got our Safe Ruby question. But it's Manuch and I here today from Twin Peaks.
Don't look now. The Diamondbacks, look at them. They've scored, 13 runs in 2 games. Break them up, Rock. Maybe they're finally, the bats have awakened. Maybe they finally are starting to find their groove in reference to hitting the ball. And I will say this, scoring 6 runs in that 4th inning yesterday, and then the night before getting all 4 of their runs in the ninth. So you sit there and go, okay, maybe they're starting to feel it. You got, guys are really starting to step up. I really like the young man that's really starting to come around for him. That's just doing a good job is Troy. He looks good. 2 for 5 yesterday, had the 2 RBIs. He's just got a good, solid stroke. He just looks comfortable up there. Tawa comes in, makes a couple of nice plays. Got the young guys you just mentioned the open there with Gruber. He's got a good stroke. Looks like he's starting to settle in and settle down a little bit too. But again, some of the guys coming in with the long ball, I think those are some of the keys that hopefully they can win today, win the 3 out of 4, and move on to Tampa, because that Tampa team is a very good pitching, very good team. Currently, when you look at them, leading the charge in the American League East. So nice to see them hopefully sustain this hitting for another couple more weeks before the All-Star break.
Another topic we're going to get into, which I don't do very often, it has to do with the WNBA. It has to do with Caitlin Clark, the villain. Caitlin Clark should do herself a favor and take the money and run to Europe, in my opinion. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. I mean, she's the entire economy. It's not even close when it comes to WNBA. And in the Phoenix Mercury had some fun by going on their official, I think it was their Instagram account, and posted a stick figure graphic appearing to mock Caitlin Clark lying on the ground with the caption, "You want a piece of this?" And, of course, they're playing off their teammate, DeWanna Bonner, and the internet just torched them. Fans call it tone deaf, classless, bush league, which that's interesting they would say that.
We'll go down
one
that
said
road.
the organization should be fined and should lose a draft pick. The young woman that hit her in the throat yesterday, Elisa Thomas. She got 1 game suspension. But it's an ongoing battle on her, but it's the only way anyone's going to talk about this particular sport if there's controversy. And this is going to sound horrible. When you think of drama, what do you think of? It's usually a bunch of girls.
Sorry, but I
right?
agree.
I mean,
Girls,
and
sure.
they're creating their own
drama.
They're starting their own drama. The WNBA is drama,
Yep.
and it's constant drama. And until they can figure out the drama, the general public's not going to watch that sport.
I'll say this, Rock, and her coach went absolutely ballistic. Not only did she get her in the throat, she kneed her in the groin area.
Same place she got last year.
Yeah, and I watched that when the officials are right there. You mean to tell me they don't just eject her right now? And you're right. They need to protect her. Not that Caitlin Clark wants, security around her, but she wants to play. But playing flagrant versus hard, she understands that. I mean, I agree with you. This is getting out of hand. They have no idea. Just be careful you don't bite the hand that feeds you, WNBA players that taunt and do this. And that is absolutely disgusting for the PR people of Mercury, even the coach, to allow them to post something. That is, Rock, that's classless, that's absurd, and that's tone deaf.
It's the owner? Are you upset with the owner?
I'm upset with the organization. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't see every PR post.
That's something that blatantly they should have saw that, taken it down, and then chastised those whoever put that up.
The thing is, there's two sides to this, because I think so many people that are big Caitlin Clark fans, and I respect that. She's a phenomenal college player, phenomenal professional player, but she's got a little edge of herself too. She's got 5 technical fouls this season. I mean, she does the same crap that everybody else does. Why is everybody defend her?
So they did a little piece on that particular. They said that her technical fouls have been because of somebody else's, a flagrant foul here, flagrant foul there. She has basically retaliated. Is that right? Probably not.
She's got 13 since she got in the league.
Yeah, so she's probably like, okay, if you guys are going to come at me hard, I'm going to play hard. So what I think what it does is they kind of get her off her game, and she's the technical foul. Now she can smack talk with the best of them, she can, but I mean her technicals are mostly barbed at the officials. Like, hey, did you see that? She just did this, she did that, and it's almost like the officials and some of these players don't get it. I think the term tone deaf is beyond in the WNBA.
It's not Bush League?
It's Bush League, it's tone deaf, it's jealous, it's envy. I don't think they understand, to your point. If Caitlin Clark isn't playing in this league, nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. The only reason why I watch the WNBA is if and when Caitlin Clark is playing, because I love watching her shoot. I love her talent. She's ambidextrous. I mean, she so much sets herself apart from a lot of these players. Now, there's damn good players, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, when she's there, she adds a pizzazz, a vibe, an interest, just what she can do. Like the night before, she won in a game-winning shot from about 35 feet. I mean, she won that. Now, the Mercury beat her last night. But I think those technicals are just her being upset with the officials.
She still got him, though.
And I know, I get it. So here's one thing. Maybe
She's not a saint.
Maybe they're baiting her into some of those. Yeah, but I've seen a lot of her games, Rock, and it's just they hammer her. She's been pretty good for the most part of just letting it go, letting play. But there's been some serious, egregious fouls, and the officials right there. The coach went ballistic after this forearm shiver to the neck and then the groin shot with the knee. And then the officials are just like, what do you want me to do? Kick him out of the game. I don't think that the policing is, well, if we do that, we'll show special interest. No, hell, if you do that to somebody else, I mean, I love how Sophie Cunningham is right there to help defend her or step in the middle of all this diatribe that they have.
I don't understand why the WNBA and their officials are not looking out for Caitlin.
I don't either.
And protecting her.
I don't either.
It seems like they're doing the opposite. And I wonder if there's people in their ear that's, they're paying. I don't understand it, because you would think if this was Michael Jordan, he's getting all the calls. We hear that in all sports, particular players get certain calls. And it's always the superstar. Well, why isn't Caitlin getting called? Maybe she is. I don't watch enough. I don't watch any of it.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody that watches the sport can tell me.
I suspect, Rock, they don't want to show any favoritism to the bell cow of the WNBA, and she is the bell cow. She's the one that they're
go to Europe, make more money, and I'll break down that kind of numbers, because you think about it. Brittany Griner did it. Diana Taurasi did it. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's a big name at WNBA.
And they made big bucks going over.
Yeah, much bigger. So Next up, D-backs put up a 9 spot in St. Louis, and we got every call from the inning that broke it up. Martell goes deep. We got a rookie gets his first. Lobello breaks it down. You'll hear it all next in our Learner Row rewind. Just getting started. Thanks to Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. We're out here at Twin Peaks in Deer Valley. We'll be here till 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch today, right here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
It is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
You push hard, you train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Kunu, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition. Great taste. That's Kunu. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Kunu Soda. Soda that's actually good for you. KunuSoda.com. Code ESPN.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale walking tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at ScottsdaleFord.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
Unleash your swing at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with all the new Titleist GTS drivers and fairways. Find the perfect GTS driver to gain superior distance, accuracy, and ball speed. Book your fitting for the new Titleist GTS driver in-store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Now it's time for a replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
And the first pitch swung on. That is hit high and deep out to left field. Velasquez going back, and there's his first career big league home run. Lou James Gruber. It comes in the top of the 4th inning, and the Diamondbacks now with a 5-1 lead.
A good win yesterday for the Arizona Diamondbacks, as they'll go again tonight against St. Louis Cardinals. So they've taken 2 of 3, so let's hope that they can get another one going.
Hope that Zach Gallen can have a decent game for once. The last month and a half. Hey, nice little outing by Mitch Brott, the youngster, the rookie. 3 innings, had 3 Ks, just 2 hits in his 3 innings, and bullpen came in, did a pretty decent job until Jamison came in, and of course by that time they had a big lead. But nice to see this kid. Good 3 innings. So a lot of pitches, about 18, 19 pitches per, but good to see these young men have a decent outing for them.
So the fourth inning's when the dam broke, bases working, traffic everywhere, and Vargas slaces a 2-run double to stretch it to a 3-1. Listen.
The 0-2. Vargas rips a line drive there inside the left field line. That'll go all the way to the corner. Arenado will score. Here comes Troy. It's a 2-run double for Vargas, and the Diamondbacks take a 3-1 lead.
Same inning still going. Ketel Marte steps in, absolutely crushes this one. A solo shot, 6-1, and St. Louis is reeling.
There's the 1-0. There's a swing. This ball is nuked out to left. Back to back go the Diamondbacks. It's a bank shot off the bullpen, and it's 6-1 Arizona.
That ball's got a dent in it.
And just when in case the Cards were thinking a comeback, Gary Al Jr. doubles one in the seventh, makes it 8-2 to slam the door.
The 2-1 pitch. Swung on ground ball inside the left field line. That's a fair ball, and that's going to bring home Troy. Gurriel motors into second. That is back-to-back RBI doubles, and the Diamondbacks lead by 6. It's now 8-2.
So what did the skipper see in it? Here's Torey Lovello on the inning that flipped the whole night.
I think our guys capitalized on it. We built an inning early. It didn't score, and we just stayed with it. So the 6-run, I think it was the 4th, was a good moment for this ball club. We've been used to seeing those things happen, and I think last night was definitely a catalyst for these good results today.
Yeah, the bottom half of the order, nice to see that. You look at Troy and then Gurriel, Vargas, and Groover pretty much did it. That's what Torey Lovello's been looking for, that bottom half to get on court for the top half to kind of set him up. But nice to see those guys, especially Tommy Troy. This kid is really showing some prowess at bats, smart at bats, hitting the ball hard, and also making some outstanding plays in center field.
But the moment of the night belongs to the rookie. First big league homer of his life. And here's Lulu James Groover walking through exactly what it felt like rounding those bases.
I was really just looking for something over the plate. He struck me out my first AB, slider, cutter, and then I watched the heater. And I think that pitch was really in the exact same spot as the heater was, but it ended up being a cutter. So I was really just looking for a heater, really just right down the middle over the heart of the plate. And it ended up being a cutter, and I was able to adjust to it. I think I hit it off the end a little bit, honestly. It was a good swing, but I wouldn't say it was my best note. And like I said, I was really looking for a heater, and I said it was a cutter. I ended up being a little bit out in front of it. And it wasn't a complete sweet spot swing, but it was good enough.
Well, enthusiasm for that young man right there to get his first stinger in the major league. This kid also had a pretty good eye. Even though he's hitting 186, he had 2 walks yesterday. Seeing the ball really good, coming from that left side.
Not seeing it that good if he's only batting 186.
Yeah, but he's starting to.
Up much.
Yeah, he's starting to. He's
how did you say that?
Well, he's only been up for like
the ball
2
really
weeks.
well. He's been 186.
Yeah, but he's only been up for 2 weeks. Right?
Okay, then you look for that stat out. I mean, you can't make the case that he has a good eye if he's batting 200.
He's starting to see the ball better.
A home run?
Yeah, he's got 1 dinger.
He got walked twice?
He got walked twice. And he went
what
for
kind
3.
of bifocals he's wearing?
Well, here's the thing. 186, he's starting to settle in. He's starting to see that the ball much better.
You talk to me when you get over.
When guys
50.
are walking like that, well, I get it. I mean, the kid in a couple, hopefully 2 or 3 weeks, he'll be above the Mendoza line. We hope so. But I think a young guy coming in, when you start to see them walking, that starts to see them seeing the ball much better, and hopefully that improves the BA and get some better quality at bats.
All right, switching gears, a real classy moment here. The voice of the Arizona Cardinals, Dave Pasch, is retiring from the Cardinals. He's stepping away after 24 seasons, and he is going to take on a more expanded role, full-time role with ESPN. So he announced the decision today, and he posted a 1-minute clip thanking the Cards owner Michael Bidwell and the late Bill Bidwell for giving him that opportunity. If I'm not mistaken, he was 29 when he started.
Correct.
So he was just a pup, and an organization gave him a shot at just 29 years old. And I think we would all agree, one of the best play-by-play guys in the business. Very versatile. Got to hang out with Wolf for all those years too. So I understand that.
The culture he must have in his brain, right?
But Dave Pasch, one of the class guys in this business, and here's his goodbye.
Dropped at the 30-yard line by Curtis. Throws near side, and it is incomplete. Dropped at the 30-yard line by Curtis. The Cardinals take over. a minute 51 away from Tampa.
Dave, first of all, welcome to the Valley.
The new voice of the Arizona Cardinals, Dave Nash. What's your favorite sport to call? Football. Left side, into the end zone, jump ball, and it is. Is it caught? Is it caught? Oh my goodness, it's caught. DeAndre Hopkins caught it. He caught it for a touchdown with 1 second left. I can't believe it.
Happy birthday to you.
He's hit the one, but he bounces off of the fender into the end zone for the Cardinal touchdown. Cardinals blocked it. It's picked up. It's a touchdown. Cardinals win. How about that, Cardinals?
You know, a significant loss, I believe, for a guy that's been a staple for this organization. It's a roller coaster organization, ups and downs all the time. But you always knew when you turned on the radio, you're going to hear Dave Pash. And now that's going to go away. At least he's going away for positively. He's moving on because he has a bigger role with ESPN. But I would have thought that this is the job you retire. In other words, you're done with the full-time gig at ESPN, and you still continue to be the play-by-play guy for the local team, and you call those 12 games a year or whatever it is. Or not 12 games, I'm thinking home games, and then, of course, 20-plus games a year with preseason that you call, and that's your gig. Make a couple $100,000 a year, and you got a sweet gig, and you're home, get to travel, 10 weeks.
Go to the complex once in a while, get some sound bites.
But, he's not getting sound bites. But I do think his professionalism, how prepared he was, he's got some pretty good calls. I've made him one of the most respected, at least local broadcasters that we have in this valley.
Well,
we don't have much championships. We don't have much to root for.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, you think of Pash, you got Al McCoy, I think Rick Schulte with the Diamondbacks, and you're right, Rock. You think about that, and the one thing he replaced Tom Dillon. A lot of you probably are aware of Tom Dillon, one of the great broadcasters of all time here in the Valley. Those are some big shoes to fill when you stop and think about it. And Pash, I'll never forget this. When he first got here, they had several of us audition to be his color guy. I think Wolf was on hiatus, John Missler was going to quit. He was going to move on. So we went in there. I went, this kid, he's a kid. But we did an audition. I looked at him and I went, wow, he sounds older than he is. And I just went, this is a very talented young man. And then doing those pregame and postgame shows at halftime, listening to him and Wolf, who got the gig, was just a very impressive. I guess that Syracuse education finally came to fruition. I used to kid him about that. But, yeah, I think you're right, Rock. He's one of the iconic voices in the Valley of the Sun and expanded assignments. I mean, hell, he's working 7 days a week now. When every time I turn the TV on, he's doing NBA, doing college, do college football, college basketball. I'm amazed how he made it back in time to do the Cardinal broadcasts with some of the games that he did on Saturday afternoon for his college. But great career here, Dave, and continued success down the road. And take those B12 shots. I'm telling you, man.
If you're going to get into this business, you go to Syracuse, clearly. I mean, he's up there with the Bob Costas, the Marv Alberts, Dick Stockton. They're all Syracuse guys. Mike Tirico, Sean McDonough, Ian Eagle, Kevin Brown, Nick Wright. I mean, the list goes on and on, and all the guys that have come out of Syracuse. They call it Sportscaster U for a reason.
Yes.
And he's clearly one of the top notable alumni and national voices for to come out of the Syracuse University's Newhouse School.
Yeah, and I think that he was very good with Wolf. He played off of Wolf very well. The yin and the yang of both those individuals. I said they were an outstanding broadcast team. And to have those guys back and forth, he handled them great. Because a lot of guys with egos will probably have trouble with the guy that's very dominant as a color analyst. But he did a great job with Wolf. And now the new era begins on who they look to search for. They use somebody local, or they search out somewhere, some of the other teams that are out there, or maybe another young up-and-comer for this Cardinal broadcast.
All right, numbers are in. The World Cup is delivering NFL-sized TV audiences right here in the United States. One Team USA group stage match drew more viewers in the NBA Finals, the World Series, and the Stanley Cup. We're going to catch up with sports professor Rick Coro right after Les hooks us up with an ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs offense is starting to heat up as Arizona picked up its second straight win in St. Louis. Lou James Groover launched his first career home run while Ketel Marte added a long ball to pad the lead and secure a 9-4 win over the Cardinals. The Snakes will now look to take 3 of 4 from St. Louis. This afternoon, his first pitch from Busch Stadium is set for 4:45. You can catch all that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. And in the World Cup, Team USA has already clinched its group and secured a spot in the knockout rounds. But the Americans still have one more group stage match to play as Team USA takes on Turkey tonight from SoFi Stadium with kickoff set for 7 o'clock in LA. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice ball, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Are you a dementia caregiver? Perhaps you care for your spouse, family member, or friend. Whoever it is, being a dementia caregiver can build relationships and test them. I'm Bill, and I want to thank you for the care you have provided. I've faced similar situations, so I'm speaking on behalf of the Dementia Society of America, a nonprofit organization. Request our free guide filled with tips on care, planning, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Time to talk about the business side of sports. Leading expert in the business of sports, author of the new bestseller, The Sport Business Handbook, host of Power of Sports, and architect of over 100 deals worth billions in sports, the sports professor Rick Horrow joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Rick Horrow joins us now on the Right to It guest line, and Rick's been nice enough to join us while he's on the road and all over the country. He's been able to experience World Cup 2026, and he joins us now. So, Rick, you went to, 3 venues last week or 2? How many did you end up going to? Rick Horrow. Laz, we have him, yes or no? Got you, Rick? All right, we don't. So anyway, we're trying to catch up with Rick Coro here.
let's reconnect there, lads. We're not getting on this side.
The producer says he's there, but he's not there.
Yeah.
Just because the light's on?
There must be a button that you have to push.
The button says on.
Okay. All right. You'll set some back there once in a while. Yeah.
We got Rick?
Are you there?
Rick?
Hello.
Hello, Rick. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? That was a commercial that lasted about 7 seconds. The problem with the visual I was about to do is you would have to put like a quarter in the cup, but the image of you coming out of your pocket with any money of any kind doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to find something else to do it.
You're referring to Manuch, right? They call him Alligator Arms.
No.
I'm referring to the group of you. Jimmy B only has the excuse because he is the walking, living, breathing early bird special, right? Whenever you see him, it's like 5 o'clock dinner, blue hair, all that stuff, right? Is that right?
He's down to 2 days. Yeah, Ricky's down to 2 days now.
Jimmy B, we got to make sure we pace him a little bit.
Yeah, we're down to 2 days.
2 days? That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're his age, it takes 1 day to wind up and 1 day to wind down.
Right.
Right? I mean, how do you give him 2 days? That's not enough. That's okay. So, if he's not around, can we talk more about him? I love talking about people.
Yes, we could. Yeah, we do plenty of that when you're not here. Yeah, we get him good.
Clearly. So, I thought you were talking about me when I'm not here. Vancouver, Seattle, Dallas. The Dallas, England, Croatia game was first rate. Yesterday, you could see how, if you really want to step it up, all the Scottish people were there before the game, and they were strutting in their kilts, and everybody was excited until the game started. Then it was, men versus boys. And I have an affinity for these underdogs. I was in Tashkent, talking about big names, when Uzbekistan qualified for the first time in like 9 million years last year. So I have an affinity for them before they got, killed. And I was in Curacao New Year's Eve, the night that they announced that they were, going to the World Cup, although they're about to get bounced too. So, look, the World Cup is the 48-team thing is incredible. Do the bottom 8, the third-place teams in each of the respective groups have a chance? Probably not, but you never know. If Ivory Coast make it, and there are a couple other entities that are looking like they're going to make it, it doesn't really matter if they get bounced in the first round of the knockout. They made it to the knockout stage. Amazing.
So, Rick, it's been a money machine. The host cities are packed, but some of the stories are messes. I mean, you're hearing about ticketing meltdowns, locking out fans, tourists running up huge tabs and not tipping. And is the U.S. actually cashing in a way that it hoped? These cities, are they excited about what's going on?
All the cities that I've been to, it's a tremendous boom, and all of the negative stories are going to be written again about any mega event, whether it's the Sochi didn't finish the bathrooms before their Olympics, to Italy didn't finish its arena before its Olympics. Seemed to work out okay, and at the end of the day, the net kind of general argument is it's about $1 billion to $1.5 billion for the cumulative of the seven games, 6, 7, 8 games that each region has. There are about 100,000 people that come in and kind of loiter for each game. The fans that don't tip, I can't be responsible for that, nor can the United States. And frankly, there are a lot of people a lot of Americans that don't tip when they go abroad either. So that's going to be understandable, right? Yeah,
20% every time. 20% every
some
time.
people don't come out of their pockets, right?
Yeah.
And then there are the parking issues. Yeah, I got a parking test. FIFA. It is interesting. FIFA has everything incredibly close to the vest. And, you get the tickets, you get them sent by the Soccer Federation, and I've got some of those, so you don't have to pay the exorbitant markups. But they don't release the tickets when you have them in your kind of phone package until exactly 3 hours before kickoff. And you're supposed to be in line 3 hours before kickoff. So if there's a snafu, you're screwed, basically. You're sitting in line calling FIFA. There is no FIFA 1-800 helpline. Yeah, can I help you?
right? There's none of that. And the parking passes, which I know you care very little about. There are opportunities, but you got to pay a pretty penny. So you end up paying, and I'm just generalizing now, about $600, $700 or so per ticket for the tickets, then about $200, $300 for parking.
Rick, have these foreigners and what happened pretty some of the well-behaved crowds? Haven't really heard about any incidents per se, and I know that security's been ramped up in all these cities, but it seems to be fairly quiet, at least from what we're seeing from afar.
Yeah. Put it in this context, really. It's 104 Super Bowls over a 3.5-week period. And the difference is if you're even a Falcon fan, because you don't go a lot, but if you go to a number of games and you're going to be a fan, you're going to have been to that stadium, or at least you're used to American stadiums. A lot of these folks have never been to stadiums like this, and they've never been to any of the stadiums they're at as well. So think of 80,000 drunk individuals, 40,000 have tickets, the other 40,000 want them from their own country, never been to the stadium before, and all trying to get there at once. It is an interesting perspective. Yesterday, the game started at 6 Eastern, was there at 3 Eastern, still not enough time.
What have you looked for?
I would say this, but I really can't. So because this is a national show, so I'm not going to say it. But my perception is I was sitting next to, and again, I'm not going to say it, but a couple of the smelliest Scots on the planet. But yesterday, but I'll just kind of, and I can't say it, so I'll just leave it alone.
Visual. Bad visual.
Terrible visual. And you weren't even there. You should see how bad it was.
I don't need to
really there. No, you don't. You clearly don't. And you have an idea what I'm thinking about. I can't say.
Do you know if the ticket prices were coming down pretty much for today's game because the game really doesn't mean anything?
Well, when you say the game, the American ticket price, I guess, went down. But then again, the American price for the Australian game went up about 110% after the unexpected first game and then the unexpected second. What's it tell you that the game 3 really doesn't mean anything? You're right. I'm going to the round of 6 of 32 in Boston on Monday, probably going to be Germany. And then I'm going to July 4 in Philly. That may be France. That's going to be unreal. And then July 5th at the Meadowlands. So that's an interesting dynamic as well. I decided in order to make sure I had a full night's rest, I'm going to take a sleeping bag, and I'm going to sleep in the median of the New Jersey Turnpike for 2 nights.
Oh, I can't imagine.
How's that?
It's not a good idea. Being from New Jersey, it's not a good idea.
So, Rick,
can you imagine? But can you imagine? I know being from there, but can you imagine what that cluster is going to be like? Philadelphia on the 4th, New York, New Jersey on the 5th, and it is our 250th anniversary of our country. So there's a lot of dynamics there.
Rick, what have you been pleasantly surprised about the World Cup here versus abroad? Because you've been abroad watching the World Cup. What have you been not so much surprised? What have you agreed to with how well things have gone?
Security's been great. What you don't notice means it's even better. No major incidents. Again, the carping and complaining, it is unfortunate that FIFA decided to do things so close to the vest with their ticket policy. A lot of the brokers were wanting to do the normal transfers that would get tickets in people's hands early, and FIFA wouldn't allow that. So you had, last-minute transferors that decided they, for some reason, didn't transfer right away, and the StubHubs and the ticket masters, they're going to get hit with some credibility issues as well. Television, amazing, but let's remember it's all one international feed. So whether you're Telemundo or Univision or Fox 1 or Fox 2 or anybody else, you got the local commentators injecting on the same deal. It is incredibly seamless the way they have these games today and tomorrow at the end of the respective groups, with the game starting and stopping just at about the same time. So there's no shenanigans about running up the score and the goals. Everybody's going to know exactly what happens with every other game. And it's an incredible event that I thought would be a little more difficult because you got it in 3 countries. But everybody seems to be doing the same kind of thing. Now, I haven't been to Philly, haven't been to New York, haven't been to Boston. And I've heard there are some major issues there. You know, have been to Miami, obviously my hometown, but I was warned about it and got there super early. But nobody in their right mind gets to a game at 1 o'clock for a 6 o'clock kickoff. But I did last night because, you know, if you miss the game, you're not going to get another World Cup for another 30 years.
You know, Rick, I think a lot of us, speaking on behalf of myself only, I'm more into soccer than I ever have been in my entire life. I'm finding myself watching the Sports Center version of soccer, FC, and one of the challenges I have as an amateur sports fan in soccer, I don't know who these commentators are, and I wish they would every time they show these guys and these gals, tell us who their name is and where they played or what their background is, because you have all these talking heads, and if you're not following the sport like 5% of the country, who are these people? And I think ESPN could do a better job. But they're not, and maybe it's because Fox owns it. But I just think ESPN is dropping the ball on their soccer coverage.
Well, and there's a lot of precedent for a network that doesn't have the coverage to kind of give second shrift to the coverage of the games themselves if they don't have the rights to it. And I respect your position. I mean, you are a national poster child for unknown and unappreciated media. So if that's what you're saying, it's, obviously the right answer, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like you're watching this and I'm a sponge. You don't want to learn the sport more. And you put on ESPN and they can't even show you footage. It's still pictures, and because they don't have the rights. It sucks. It just sucks.
Well, but then watch Fox. Better. I mean, the answer is,
but they don't have Fox One.
The
They don't.
Station.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So A, suck it up and watch Fox. B, the perspective you got to take away from it is every Fox analyst, even if they're from Brooklyn, is taught to speak with an English accent because that makes it sound like soccer.
Thank you. I feel much better now. There it is. I now have a better understanding. Thank you, Rick. Enjoy Jersey, and if you're going to South Street, Philly, you don't go to Gino's or Pat's. You go to Jim Steaks, all right? Go to Jim.
Right. Actually, we're going to get there early. How far is that from Link?
Oh, man. 10 minutes.
Okay. What's it called again?
Jim's Steaks. It's right on South Street, where all the places are. It's where the locals go. It's the number one spot, and I promise you will enjoy it.
I'm doing it. You're either a goat or a goat, but I'm doing it.
All right.
Be safe out there, Rick.
Be safe, Rick. That's Rick Coro joining us, the sports professor. Appreciate his time. He's already been to 5 venues, gets to go to 3 more, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Good for him.
So,
amazing.
It's brought to you today by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. Whether you're stranded or need a professional transport, All City has the experience to get the job done right. 24/7, 365 days a year. They're hiring all types of positions. So if you're looking for a career move, join the winning team at All City Towing. Go to allcitytowing.com. All right, coming up, Tim Duncan changed an entire NBA franchise with 1 draft pick. Argentina wins its first World Cup. We got a college football story that could reshape the future of the Big 12. That's next right here on Roc and Manuch.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Rowe and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on righttoyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Step right up, America. Got equipment to sell or looking for something ready to work? At Purple Wave Auction, it's as easy as it gets. Easy to sell, easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve, all online. Register for free.
Go away, get swinging over to purplewave.com. Purplewave.com.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azdcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
With the first pick in the 1997 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Tim Duncan from Wake Forest University.
How about that? San Antonio changed their franchise. He'd go on to 5 titles in first ballot Hall of Fame career. Not a bad reminder, day after the draft, that one player can change the franchise.
David Robinson was there too. So the Twin Towers were there. I helped it even immensely, but he was kind of like the cherry on top that Sunday. Just helped them move that forward even more so.
Couple more on the 25th, 1934. Lou Gehrig hit the cycle as the Yankees pounded the White Sox. Barry Bonds passed Babe Ruth, career home run 715. And Barcelona dismantled Manchester United 3-1 at Wembley for the Champions League crown in 2011. There it is. That is on this day. Brought to you by Right Toyota. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale. As we get to football at 50, the question is Texas Tech, their quarterback situation. Who's next? Their head coach, Joey McGuire, has been blunt all along, and it's going to be Will Hammond, who's a redshirt sophomore. Of course, I'm bringing this up because of the whole Sorsby deal, that this kid's lost now. He's got nowhere to play. Where would you send the kid, Manuch? I mean, where do you go? Sit out a year?
Well, he may have to.
Can he play in any arena league or anything like that?
I think the only thing you have to be careful, he can go to Canada if he wanted to. They're already about 5-6 games in up there. He could do that. I doubt he goes anywhere, Rock. I think he'll go and just train and hopefully be eligible for the draft next year, because in the state by the National Football League, they said you possibly may be eligible for the 2027 draft. So if I'm him, I would have I'd have my agent reaching out to a lot of those teams that could be drafting him. I'd get myself ready. I'd stay in shape. I'd do everything I possibly could from a PR standpoint to, number one, be invited to the combine. Number two, make yourself eligible to be drafted, and not try to sue anybody at any particular time. Because number one, you can't sue the NFL because you're not a member of the bargaining unit. And number two, National Football League in the last CBA has got full authority signed off by the NFL Players Association, full authority on the supplemental draft. So they said, no go, not going to happen. and you may be eligible for the draft in 2027. So my thing is just go get yourself ready, get yourself in shape, because you don't want to go to Canada or anywhere else and get hurt. So I think there'll be, once he goes and talks to a lot of people about he's straightened out, he feels good about himself. But that's me on the PR side of things.
So even losing the number 2 transfer in the country, the national read still on the Red Raiders is they're still Big 12 favorites. They got 11 starters. They got a reloaded and loaded defense. And scouts are saying that this offensive line is very future NFL offensive line-ish. So it's interesting to see where Arizona State fits in there, because they're one of the 2 biggest threats for Texas Tech this upcoming year, along with Houston. So this isn't just a Texas story with Texas Tech, because if ASU is chasing for a Big 12 title, the Red Raiders quarterback situation is exactly the kind of thing that kind of cracks the door, I would say, for the Sun Devils to have an opportunity.
Yeah, I think so.
They got to get their quarterback situation intact, but it sounds like they're much better off than a lot of teams.
Yeah, they are. They've got the kid that transferred in, the big, tall lefty.
Kansas.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good. So they're set there. What Campbell has done, this is the guy that's part of the board for Texas Tech. He's infused that money from that defensive line last year. Offensive line this year, they're continuing to build. Just because Sorsby's not going to be there doesn't mean they're going to fall off a cliff. They're going to have their guys. Hammond, very solid quarterback. He was injured for part of the season last year. But I think that they probably won't miss a beat. Their problem was when they got to the playoffs, they got absolutely schooled. So they kind of looked at that and went, well, where were our shortcomings? Their defense played pretty good. It was their offense that really struggled. They couldn't move the ball. Therein lies. They didn't make it, not even make it to the semi. And I think this year they're looking at the interior linemen, as you mentioned, the offensive line. They'll keep their 4 or 5 picks on the defensive line to continue to keep build that defense. But I don't see them missing a beat. And as far as the ASU is concerned, I would think ASU will be able to compete with them. They beat them last year on their home field here. But they one kid, the backup quarterback played. But they had a great game plan. I really thought Arroyo had a great game plan, so they can compete with them. I just think ASU hopefully shores up some of the defensive sides of it. They get this quarterback up and going, and then they're able to compete going into the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. It's going to be vitally important for this ASU team to just make sure they can hold serve all the way through the season with the type of team that they have.
Some other news today, big one for the future of college sports. A judge just sided with the NCAA and the Power Conferences, upholding the new College Sports Commission power to enforce a salary cap on college athletes. So here's the deal. Schools this winter, they found a loophole, a funnel over the cap money to players through the so-called NIL deals. They're really just recruiting bonuses. Nebraska, they tried it, $7.5 million to 18 football players through a marketing firm. Now the commission has blocked it. An arbitrator has backed them. And now the court says the cap stands. So the richest programs can't just buy a roster around the rules, at least for now. Because Nebraska's attorney general, they may sue. There's a state law on the players' side. And now now Congress is circling around this own bill. So the fight's not over, but they still got to move some stuff around.
Yeah, I think that I thought they went down this road that cap would probably not fall through. I mean, it would not be upheld because of antitrust violations. I think that's been one of the things that a lot of players have gone back, or some of these schools have gone back and said, wait a second. Now you want to limit our guys or our schools after, 4 or 5 years ago, you said we could go ahead and, get more NIL money. We could do more representation. Now you're going to put a cap on these players. So I think that if Congress looks at this, if they were to uphold this, they're contradicting themselves from what they allowed 5 years ago.
All right, Twin Peaks happy hour starts at 3 o'clock. Goes till 6. Michelob Ultra, Bud Light Drafts, tequila cocktails, Top Shelf spirits over the ice balls, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Pair it with some scratch-made bites that satisfy. When it comes to happy hour, no one does it better than Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks Eats, Drinks, and Scenic Views. We're out here at the Deer Valley location. Coming up, a big hour 2. Caitlin Clark gets punched in the throat by a Phoenix Mercury player. Rick Campbell is going to join us on the Suns trading up. And is America finally a soccer country? It's all next. But before we get all started, it's Throwback Thursday. We're going to go back 17 years when I interviewed A-Rod. We're going to bring that back to you next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Our front paws, hands or feet.
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurance. Not available in all states or situations.
This summer, the honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich and pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich. And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute. I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory. It's bold. It's flavorful. Our faves are back. Girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. It's a throwback Thursday, and the guys are live from one of the 5 Twin Peaks locations. Now let's throw it back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Manuch and I are going on, 22?
22 years.
22 years. So we've been fortunate enough to interview some pretty cool people over the years. So I thought it'd be appropriate here in the dog days of summer. Bring back an interview that I personally did with Alex Rodriguez. And at the time, I believe he was with the Texas Rangers, and he was switching. He was going to go over to the Yankees. And I believe we did this in 2009. So it would have been 17 years that I had a sit down with him. It's about 3 minutes. I will may offend some people because 17 years ago, we could get away with a lot more on radio.
We could.
You know, we almost got in trouble talking Bush League earlier today, and that could have been anything.
Sure.
But in the reference that we used it, we clearly are going to get in trouble. So I'm not going to bring it up again because whatever. But this, so what I'm going to have to do here is, Laz, I want you to pull the disclaimer. We're going to play the disclaimer. And if you have problems with this stuff, we're not asking you to stop listening to us, but if you want to jump over to 98.7 real quick, you can do that. You know, and come back in about 4 minutes, and we'll be back and we'll talk some WNBA if that's what you want.
But you'll be missing out.
But you'll be missing out on my exclusive.
What an interview.
I mean, there's, we've been fortunate to have Barry Bonds. We've had, we've had Willie Mays. That's a really great guest.
Yeah.
But A-Rod was one of my favorites because there was a lot of crap going on in his world. He's getting, he's getting busted for steroids. He's dating Madonna. So I kind of didn't hold back on any of my my questions. So without further ado, let's do the disclaimer, and then let's go right to my interview with Alex Rodriguez 17 years ago for Throwback Thursday.
The views and opinions expressed by host, guests, or callers on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B do not reflect the opinions or endorsements of ESPN 620, Bonneville International, any sports teams affiliated with the station, or any individuals associated with the station. The broadcasts of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are intended for entertainment purposes, and listeners are encouraged to use their own judgment in forming conclusions. The ownership of the radio station does not confirm or deny the validity or accuracy of the information aired on this program. All content, products, and services presented are meant for enjoyment. We encourage keeping an open mind and not interpreting the presenting stories, facts, or services as absolute truth. In other words, we invite you to relax, not to be so PC, and enjoy the ride with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Hey, Rock here. See, with a special guest at a sit-down with Yankees third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Well, Alex, it came out over the weekend that you failed a drug test in 2003. And he did an interview with ESPN's Peter Gammons on Monday. This week had to be really stressful.
That's pretty accurate, yes.
So why did you use performance-enhancing drugs?
I was stupid.
I would certainly say so. There are many performance-enhancing drugs out there. What were the drugs that you were using?
I'm not sure exactly what substances I used.
How much performance-enhancing drugs have you used?
195 pounds or 200 pounds.
What? 195 to 200 pounds in a 3-year window? You should be dead right now.
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Alex, do you have any idea that, buying performance-enhancing drugs is illegal? You know that, right? Don't you?
I'm guilty for a lot of things.
Well, Alex, it also came out that you're trying to sell your plane. Are you trying to get rid of evidence that you're using your plane to obtain performance-enhancing drugs?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Wow. How many times would you say you made runs out of the country for performance-enhancing drugs?
I don't know the real number, but I would guess at least 8 to 10 times.
Wow, 8 to 10 times? How much performance-enhancing drugs would you say you picked up?
195 pounds or 200 pounds.
Wow, you've admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs. You've admitted to bringing drugs in from outside the country. Have you committed other crimes?
I'm guilty for a lot of things.
Really? A lot of things? Have you ever impersonated a police officer?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Have you ever impersonated a doctor and performed open-heart surgery?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Come on. Have you ever impersonated a clown at a children's birthday party?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
All right. Have you ever vandalized the back of Derek Jeter's car with a rainbow bumper sticker?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Are you responsible for Steve Gutenberg's acting career coming to an end?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Come on. Were you the second shooter in the grassy knoll?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Did you kidnap the Lindbergh baby?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Did you cause the Hindenburg to crash?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Did your ego cause the Titanic to sink?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Did you help embezzle money with Bernie Madoff?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Were you the person who took the picture of Michael Phelps smoking out that bong?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Wow, you are really guilty of a lot of things. Well, let's change the subject before I become an accomplice after the fact. Well, what's up with Madonna? Are you two still together?
That's pretty accurate, yes.
What did you think about your decision to start dating Madonna?
I was stupid.
Stupid? Then why did you start dating her?
I was young.
What do you mean young?
I was naive.
What was the first thing you thought about after you hooked up with Madonna?
What am I doing?
Wow, it sounds like you're having some second thoughts about being with Madonna. When was the first time you started having these regrets?
I was laying in my bed in Surprise, Arizona.
Surprise, Arizona? What if Madonna came out and said she enjoyed her time with Jose Canseco more than you?
I would be very pissed off.
All right, one more. I'll finish with the Madonna questions. Sex with Madonna was?
It was very loose.
Wow, okay. Just a few more questions for you. Alex Rodriguez joining us here on the... Just give me a percentage on these last few questions. What are the chances you get booed this year at New Yankee Stadium?
100%.
What are the chances you choking in the playoffs this year for the Yankees?
100%.
What are the odds of you hooking up with Madonna again?
100%.
What are the chances of us never getting a real interview with you now?
100%.
If you met my radio partner, Manuch, What are the chances you would think he's a tool?
100%.
Wow. Thanks, A-Rod. I really appreciate the time. Oh, I had fun with that.
Wow.
Yeah, 17 years ago, I think I did that.
Hard-hitting questioning, Rock.
Throwback Thursday. And we had to beat out the others. We've been at like 10 other stations.
Yes.
So,
Oh, my God.
That was why we
That's
picked that
classic. That is great writing, great classic stuff
Yeah.
there. Hard-pressed journalism, Rock.
Got to give a lot of credit to Tracy P. and Tracy Henderson, if you're listening, one
Gamer.
of our fine producers over the years who put that together. I took days, but
that was
it was great. We didn't have the technology 17 years ago like we do now, but you can do
Had
that
a
probably in
booth,
20 minutes.
had a microphone, let it roll. Yeah, just the editing by Gamer was just pretty phenomenal.
It was
the hard-hitting questions.
Hard
Journalism at its finest, Rock.
I don't know
That
about
was
that.
classic.
But anyway, Roc and Manuch with you today out here at Twin Peaks at Deer Valley. Be here till 4 o'clock. Coming up, Rock's Man Vice. It's Thursday, so we do that every Thursday. And then Rick Hamla will stop by, and then one of you will have an opportunity to challenge one of the young ladies here for our Bud Light Peaks Picks, which we do every Thursday for a gift card from Twin Peaks. Again, watch parties at all 5 locations today, so they are going to be slammed. Thanks to Michelob Ultra and Bud Light Neutral as well. So Twin Peaks is your home. All of it have been just absolutely packed. So you want to get here early. 7 o'clock is when the game starts. The match starts at 7. And then hopefully, it would be great for momentum to get the W. Game doesn't mean anything for either team. I think for Turkey, it means a lot more to at least go back home to their country with a W or at least a point. But to come over to the World Cup in the United States and get a goose egg, that probably will not go well for the fans there. I know their head coach is going to probably get axed if he hasn't already, because that just does not sit well when the expectations for Turkey was to have some success and be second in the group behind the United States.
You sit there and go, and I know that they're looking to sit 4, 5, 6 of their guys. 4 of them got the gold cards, yellow cards, so they're going to sit them. Yeah, I think you're right. You want to get a good. You want to just get a lot of those guys that haven't played much, get them experience. But I think leading up to Wednesday's next game in the knockout round is just make sure these guys get some scrimmage again, get some kind of continuity, keep that going. The rest is great. Was it Pulisic? Pulisic is going to be healthy. He is practicing. I guess that calf strain is a lot better.
Maybe you get him out there for 15 minutes of time, but that's about it, just to get him loose. But you hold him back.
Yeah, I think you just a lot of the guys.
Next match is next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday. The big match. So I just think they get a good workout. Continue
possibly, right?
Yeah, Bosnia-Herzegovina is they got. So just get some work.
Bosnia would be tough.
Yeah, well now it's.
What if you did a game? If we started a game and is this team or is this country in the World Cup? How many you would get correct? In other words, if we did a contest and we just pull out 60 different countries.
Yes.
If you could get 20%, 50% of them.
And say them correctly?
Well, say it correctly is a whole other. That's why we need Jimmy B for that.
Yeah. I think, well, Cape Verde versus Verde and Bosnia-Herzegovina and then Chechnya. I don't know. I just think that
I hear him saying Czechstan.
Czechstan. I've heard Chechnya. We just, the Czechoslovakian side. I remember
just say the Czechs.
The Czechs, yeah. I think it's just from that standpoint. But now everybody's touting, they're touting France, they're touting Germany. I mean, the big boy time starting to come up, and you just hope that the USA can hold their own and win mixed intermatch.
Hey, one of our 2 State 48 Roofing It's Your Call questions today. Has the World Cup finally made soccer a mainstream American sport? Yes or no, it's still only a World Cup event. That is one of the 2 It's Your Call questions that we have, so you can vote on our Twitter page, X page. Just search Roc and Manuch, and you'll be all set with that. All right, up next, it's called Rock's Man Vice. There's a new king of fast food after 11 years. We also got a new study that says no amount of beer is actually good for you. I'm devastated. And what do we have here? We got a robot that got fired, a police robot. Got fired because it had 0 arrests. So we'll sort out all the nonsense. That's all coming up next. Rock's Man Vice here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Lace Up Tempe, the Frank Cush Youth Foundation's 33rd annual Runnin' for the Brats is back. Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park. Part of the Tempe Sister Cities Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step supports Lady Hawk softball, girls flag football, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, and kids across our community. Sign up or volunteer at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Give back, run, cheer. October 10th, Tempe Beach Park.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner and Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner and Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner and Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Our legacy began in 1963. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been your trusted golf shop for generations. From the early days to the present, we've been serving local golfers with excellent service and expertise. Our goal is to empower your journey with the best gear and advice in golf, all backed by our legendary 90-day guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf is here to help you get there.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Do you roll like Rock when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Rock searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yeah, here's Rock's man advice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
All right, let's get to Rock's man advice. As first story has to do with M&M's. They're losing 2 colors, at least for now, as Mars is launching a new version of M&M's without artificial dyes this August, only on Amazon. The catch, there won't be any blue or brown M&M's anymore. No more blue.
No more blue.
I guess it will eventually, I guess there's some, the blue ones clog the factory machines, they said. I don't know.
With the dyes that they have?
I guess. And the brown coloring actually requires blue. So they're getting rid of both of them. And they hope, Mars hopes, to have all 6 colors naturally dyed by 2018. See, I don't need to know all that. Just, I have M&M's in my house 24/7. I am an M&M guy. I mean, I got like a bowl of them.
M&M peanut or M&M plain?
I'm plain. And it just, I could care less what the colors are.
You know, it's interesting.
But I don't need to know that the blue comes from some kind of algae.
Well, what they're saying is a lot of dyes and foods or whatever, or drinks are are harmful to your body. And I mean, who knew a dye would be harmful, especially like your kidneys and that type of thing? I'm like, wait a second.
It's crazy.
If it's harmful, okay, I'm all for it. Get it off the market.
There's a new king of fast food. After 11 straight years, Chick-fil-A has been knocked off the top spot in customer satisfaction.
Satisfaction?
Yep. Number 1 now,
I'll just say they made an about face. I'm going to say Burger King.
Jersey Mike's.
Really?
Jersey Mike's is now an official sponsor of the NFL.
Hold on. You're stealing my job.
I don't want to steal anything.
Lies. Eli's.
I just love these subs.
It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub of both.
So top sandwich chains are Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's, Subway, and Arby's. Top chicken still is Chick-fil-A, KFC, Raising Cane, Wingstop, and Popeyes. So there you have it.
You walk into Jersey Mike's. I will say this. A lot of them seem to be following you walk into a Quick Trip. Hey, how are you? Welcome in. It seems like everybody's picked up on that. You walk into Jersey Mike's. Hey, how are you? How can I help you? I'm like,
hate it.
It's like you're
It's like
facing
Quick Trip. I hate it.
Yeah, you're facing that way. How do they see you? I mean, they must hear the door.
They hear the door. That's why there's a bell.
And they just automatically
have to say hello.
Yeah. It's not real sincere.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's just like
you're coming in to get a sandwich. You're on your lunch break.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
It's funny. It's like, oh, a lot of sincerity in that. You're not even looking at me and say,
All
hey.
right, new study, no amount of alcohol is actually healthy. Researchers found no measurable health benefit to drinking alcohol. You remember growing up, a glass of wine is good for you, my dad said maybe a Manhattan was good for you. But, even moderate drinking raises lifetime health risks. Recommendation, no more than one drink per day for both men and women.
So they talk about red wine and this and that. So I guess in moderation, a beer. I mean, just think of this. When guys years ago, they play an entire game or whatever, workout, they go have beers versus Gatorade or water. You see how bad that was for them back then. But just one drink, about a shot of tequila. That's got to be good for you, isn't it?
Yeah. America's Snack Confessions. 79% of Americans call themselves snackers. Now, here are the biggest confessions. 53% have finished an entire bag of chips in one sitting. 39% have skipped meals just to snack all day. And 60% have a secret snack stash.
Yeah, and that late night.
Where's your hidden stash?
It's right there in the pantry.
So it's not hidden then?
Well, not really. I don't have anything hidden. I'll have either popcorn or chips or my late night snack.
I'm not going to say her name.
Yeah.
But you will remember because we were still doing the show. I think it was the time when I had back surgery.
Yeah.
So it's 20 years ago. I remember I was living with a woman who was a yoga and spinning instructor.
Yes.
And was doing triathlons and all that crap. And, I could barely ride a bike.
Very healthy.
I could barely ride a bike. And I had to hide all my snacks.
Did you really?
Literally in the garage.
Where'd you hide them in the garage?
My garage.
I never where? Anywhere in particular?
I have drawers.
Under pillows?
No, drawer cabinets.
Wow. No, mine are plain. I just know that
it sucked. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
You're listening.
Yeah.
It was horrible. When you live in your own house, you got to hide.
That's
you can have a snack.
That's just wrong, Ron. That's just wrong.
All right, random here. Which life upgrade would you choose? People pick one bonus. 50% more pay, which is 37%. 20% luckier, which is 23%. 40% hotter, which was 17%. Others age 30% slower, 10% happier, 60%, better at every sport.
I think age-wise, I think we get older. I'm hoping for more age as the years go on. Everything else is pretty good,
Worst baby names ever, according to Reddit. ESPN was number one. Espen. It's called the kid Espen, but it's spelled ESPN. Then it was followed by Lester, Archibald, Bertha, and Todd. Sorry, Todd. I know a lot of Todd.
Todd. Oh, Todd. I mean, some of those names, some of these Hollywood stars, like Frank Zappa, named his child like Moon or Sunglow. I mean, his kids were Moon Bay or Sunglow or whatever. You imagine, what's your name? Sunglow Zappa. Okay. I mean, just the bizarre names that you see.
I like
Kanye West. He named some of his kids off the wall. I mean, amazing.
One thing I like when people name their dogs, like not something stupid like Bells or whatever. I wasn't referring to your dog.
Okay.
Or your dog. Oh, you have a cat.
Cat. We got cat.
Yeah, you call it Bells?
Well, we had a cat named Bell.
Oh, Bell. Okay. I like when when someone names their dog John. You know?
That's real original.
Right,
Hey, Johnny
right.
boy.
Well, no, it's just this guy. I think it's funny. I've been kind of working on my next dog. You know, I had Guinness, I had Schmitty, but now I want like John,
Or how about
or just Fred, or Matt, or
Charlie, Ralph? So I see.
there are a lot of Charlies.
Yeah.
Best states for summer road trips. I'm going to go 10-1. Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Maine, Texas, Florida. Top 4, New York, Louisiana, Utah. And the number 1 state for a road trip is Minnesota. I disagree with that
Really?
100 million times over. They got these flying birds that bite you.
Yes.
They're called mosquitoes.
Yes.
And they're everywhere.
Oh, are they ever? They are.
Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the worst. Worst states.
Wisconsin,
Rhode Island, Delaware, Connecticut, California, and Maryland.
I wonder why California.
Yeah, they got the most attractions.
They got the beaches.
Most
they got
expensive, though.
the expensive. They have the traffic. The summertime
All right.
traffic.
Robot cop got fired. There's a police robot, costs $128,000. In Ohio, they had to retire. Its accomplishments: 0 arrests, 0 tickets, 0 crime solved, and it cost taxpayers about $68,000 after the recall.
This thing like rolls out the street. I mean, is it
Yeah.
like one of those Uber deliver things that?
Well, kind of, but it was a cop.
I
I
think.
don't know how they. I don't know how. I mean, huge.
When you say that, I think of RoboCop, the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's. You're hearing the theme of
Yeah,
RoboCop,
exactly.
Terminator right now.
Yeah, I was just on about 2 weeks ago. I saw the very first one. I don't know. I mean, how would they just pull somebody? Hey, you need to pull over now. I mean, how would that even work?
So this one's local. A DoorDash delivery robot rolled directly into an active SWAT scene in Chandler.
Really?
And completely ignored the police commands. I mean, I've driven in Tempe and I've seen it.
Sure.
Have you seen the guys?
Yes, I have.
I mean, they're cruising.
Yes,
they're
they are.
delivering whatever they're delivering.
Yep.
I think it's pretty cool. One of my favorite television shows of all time was SWAT. Here's
Great
the theme
show.
song.
Oh, great show.
I remember as a little kid, I would throw snowballs at the UPS trucks because they reminded me of SWAT. Remember?
Yes,
we would
truck.
play this song and we do snowballs and throw them at the UPS trucks. They didn't like them.
I like the guy on the opening that the doors open and these guys come flying out of the truck. Like it seemed like 90 of them for just one house to surround the house.
Some World Cup stuff here. Fans joke about FIFA, but international fans visiting USA are jokingly saying that they're gaining about 15 pounds thanks to barbecue, pizza, ranch dressing, which you can't get in Europe, Raising Cane's, Chipotle, and Taco Bell.
Matter of fact, the TSA told a lot of the folks, hey, look, you can check your ranch dressing in because a lot of the Europeans going back to Europe, they would take it out of their bag, their carry-ons, and just start guzzling the ranch dressing. And they said, look, go check that in. They bring back bottles and bottles of ranch dressing.
Some random facts here. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, the rules they have to follow. They have some strict rules, include the following. No visible tattoos. Yes. I have clapping my hands.
Hallelujah.
No dating NFL players. That's a bummer. Must maintain uniform size. So if you're
plus size or getting there,
you got to stay. If you're small, you stay small.
Sure. You can't get plus.
No glitter eyeshadow, and no crazy social media photos.
Oh, I see. They're pretty strict.
Pamela Anderson was discovered after appearing on a Canadian Football League stadium jumbotron in 1989. That's how they found Pamela Anderson.
No kidding.
Yep. And just found this out. Not that this would matter to not one person listening. Drinking beer in space doesn't work. It turns into foam because the carbonation behaves differently in zero gravity.
I thought for a second down the road you would not get inebriated because of the atmosphere that
would be bad.
Pretty much up in there.
All right, that's Rock's Man Advice today. We'll do it again next
Good
Thursday.
stuff, Rock.
Appreciate that. Coming up, Suns walked into draft night with one pick, walked away with a hometown kid. We'll catch up with Rick Kamala after this Twin Peaks ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center updates.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs offense is starting to heat up as Arizona picked up its second straight win in St. Louis. Lou James Groover launched his first career home run to secure a 9-4 win over the Cardinals. The Snakes will look to take 3 of 4 from St. Louis this afternoon as first pitch from Busch Stadium is set for 4:45. You can catch all that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. And in the World Cup, Team USA already clinched its group and secured a spot in the knockout rounds, but the Americans still have one more group stage match to play as Team USA takes on Turkey tonight from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy.
The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale Walking Tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th Annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd Annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th Annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at ScottsdaleBoard.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangeDaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Sammy's lead. It's his second 3 of the night. From the Raptors. Here comes Bradley. Bradley gives it to Pete.
Coach Pete, Phoenix Sun, after the trade, day one of the NBA draft. But a lot of storylines in the NBA, of course, with it all starting on Monday night with Giannis going to the Miami Heat from the Bucks. And Rick Hamill joins us now to talk some NBA. How we doing, Rick? What's going on, man? So you got Giannis not too far from you there in Fort Lauderdale, right? So you get an opportunity to go see the big man.
Yeah, oh boy, there's a lot going on. LaMelo Ball is a Timberwolf. Like it's the NBA's on fire, man. This second apron CBA's got teams making decisions they do not want to make, but it's great to be on the air with you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the time. So did that trade surprise you? I know Boston was in the mix for Giannis. Did you feel that Miami was one of the guys that one of the teams that would make some sense, and Bobby Portis being part of it as well?
Yeah, I love Bobby Portis. I think him as an attachment to Giannis is definitely a good thing for any team, especially Miami. Here, guys, here's the deal though. Miami made a terrible trade. They made a terrible trade. They gave up all these draft picks. They give up Ware. Khalil Ware is going to be a stud. Wait until you see him next year. Hopkins should have won Sixth Man of the Year. Tyler Hero's an all-star. He's made big shots in the playoffs. He's vetted. He's proven. You just gave up way too much for a guy who's about to be 32, unreliable in terms of injuries. He doesn't have a skill set that as he ages is going to translate. He's not going to age gracefully. You've set yourself up for like a 2-year window. I said on my podcast today, Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. Not X-rated like weird, but it's like Dr. X-ray, that kind of thing. All right. Look this up. But anyway, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have a better record than the Miami Heat. Okay. How do I know this? Roster construction. Can Miami somehow get some impactful veteran minimum guys? Russell Westbrook would move the needle for me for the Heat. Klay Thompson, love him to death, would not. Okay. But as it stands right now, Drew Smith is your 9th man. Okay. And I'm not going to go through the whole roster. You guys, if Pell Larson is starting for the Miami Heat right now, as I have it structured. Okay. Not only are they not a winning team, I don't even think they're going to be a playing tournament team. Okay. So Miami made a horrible trade. They got Milwaukee eventually back in the mix with all the assets that they got. But this is born of the desperation of Pat Riley, who I love, but he's been striking out on star after star after star. And they were like, damn it, we're getting our star this time. And they way overspent for him.
And on top of that, Rick, how much life does Andrew Wiggins have left in his legs as well, too? And you look at this depth chart, if you will, you make a good point. There's some aged guys on this roster.
Yeah, Bam's your 5. Giannis is your 4. Your 3 is Wig. And I think he'll be back. He's an average player right now. He maybe was, he was an all-star, remember, helped Golden State win that championship, all that. Like, yeah, he was an above-average player that year. He's not anymore. He's just an average player to me. Davion Mitchell will be, who I like, but I don't love. He'll be a starter. Pell Larson, because Windhorst is reporting that Norman Powell's gone, okay? And so you can't pay him. And by the way, Spo, love Spo, but Norman Powell makes the all-star team, and they come back from the break, and Spo benches him. What in the bleep was that, dude?
Yeah.
And the rumor on the street is that Detroit is looking at Norman Powell. I've been screaming about it since the first or second round of the playoffs, that he's exactly what the doctor ordered for Detroit. So I hope to see Norman Powell up there with the Pistons.
Rick, when you look at the draft overall, a record-tying, 8 freshmen selected in the first 9 picks, a teenager's draft top to bottom. Is this going to stay this way, or are we going to see some changes? Is that we got to get used to this?
Yeah, they don't want the older guy, right? Axel Lundeborg, he's only a national champion. He's only got, a LeBron James type of body. He's only like the most NBA-ready guy in the entire draft. But, no, we're going to let him fall to 11. And then, take some 18-year-old that's a huge maybe. It's always been this way. It's always going to be this way. The young cat, I mean, it's about one and done. You go to college, you go to the NBA, man. So, but I'm really intrigued with Caleb Wilson in Chicago. On my show today, he's my pick for Rookie of the Year. He's obviously super talented. I think he's going to be put up to bat in a big way for the Bulls. Peterson's going to have a hard time. Davance's going to have a hard time. Not talent-wise, but they got a lot of dudes on those teams. So I'm excited about this draft. I think ultimately it's going to be a little overrated because people throw around generational talent now. Stop throwing that around. Generational talent is, Shaq, LeBron, Wemby, like that's generational talent. And I don't see one of those in this draft. I see potential franchise faces, potential perennial all-stars, but I don't see Goliaths in this draft.
Rick, when you watch today's young men coming out like these freshmen, maybe even second-year guys, do you see any advancement from, let's say, yesteryear and a few guys would come out periodically as far as being ready for the NBA or ready to be impactful for a team with such a young man?
You know what? I think you just kind of know, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but there's some guys that come back for the second year. It's like, you didn't show me anything this year that you didn't show me as a rookie. Look, right. I think if the bag is there, go for it. Anthony Richardson in the NFL, right? And I know we're switching sports here, but he had one decent year at Florida.
Sure.
Wasn't even close to ready for the NFL. Boom. Everybody loves you. You're going to be a top 10 pick. Go get the bag, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that was before NIL. I think that was the year or two before NIL. Now you can make a different decision and play the longer game. But, he went for the bag, and obviously now his career is flaming out, injuries, and frankly, he's just not that good, right? So yeah, I just think when you're ready, you got to go get that bag and just try to make it work.
And then one of the main reasons why has been everybody's talking about Maluach, and hopefully he can move on. Young kid, does he make the move into the second year? And I think for so many of these young guys, Rick, over the years, you watch who moves forward and who doesn't move forward. So it's just a matter of them finally getting that particular system, or hopefully their talent starts to take over in that second, third year.
That is an outstanding question. I think system is important, but I don't think it's as important, and this is going to sound obvious, as playing time, right? Like, it's the guys just got to get on the court and play and figure it out that way, and also establish their identity, show everybody what they can do, not get put in a box and just left there. And in terms of Maluach, loved him at Duke, absolutely loved him, thought it was a kick-ass pick. I think you guys got him at 10. Great value, I thought. You guys had Nick Richards. He was in the wait for a minute. You got him out. Obviously, Mark Williams is good, but very injury prone. I do anticipate, not a crazy leap from Maluach, but like, he's got to be a rotation guy. Like, you got to find, 15, 18, 20 minutes for that guy. And I think he's going to be fantastic. And I did love the Koa Pete montage coming in. I thought that was sweet.
Rick, what's the overall view? You have the national view. We sit here in Phoenix, see it every day, hear it every day, same talking heads. Booker's clock's ticking. Is this a team that's actually building towards anything, or they're just treading water in the West here?
Another great question. No, I think you guys are building. Treading water's Golden State. Like,
okay.
Horford's
back.
On our show today. Yeah. Somebody said on our show today, I think they still can make noise. I'm like, and I don't usually interrupt and do the Stephen A game, but I'm like, really? How? Like, no, it's not. They're not even going to be a play-in tournament team. You guys have a young coach, right? Did very, very well last year. You got a lot of young players. You got Booker, you got Green, you got Dylan Brooks. I like all three of those guys. You've got Fleming and you've got Ryan Dunn. I just think you guys need to be patient and just stay the course and try to grow this thing. Like, you've got some franchise pillars. You've got a lot of really intriguing prospects on this roster. I like what's going on in Phoenix. Like, I can't predict you guys to be in the top 6 of the West, but I would definitely predict you guys to be a playoff team. I think you and Portland are the 7 and 8 in the West, and I think Minnesota, Houston, LA, Lakers, Denver, OKC, and San Antonio. Clippers are going to have something to say about that, just because T. Lue's such a great coach. But I would put Phoenix and Portland above the Clippers right now.
And Rick, speaking of Coa, Pete, a little biased watching him at Perry High School here and then watching him at U of A. How do you figure with his talent, skills, physicality, whatever you want to call him, that he fits, or where do you think they use him initially and try to get some impactfulness out of him?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they got a lot of guys like Coa Pete on the Suns, right?
Right.
I just, Dunn, Fleming, probably, I don't have the roster in front of me, probably a couple guys I'm kind of forgetting right now, but I mean, I like them a lot. I think it's an absolute great get for the Suns. I can make no promises or prognostications on playing time, success as a rookie. I just don't know. It's just, to me, it's just a talent grab. And to me, that's what the draft is. Grab talent. Figure it out later. But Coa Pete was, on the service I looked at on Basketball Reference, 8th in his recruiting class. He was mocked most of the year in the top 10. He was the second best player, toggled with being the first best player on a Final Four team. And he falls to 30. Help me out with that. I'm really, really struggling with that. And I think the Mavericks, Masai Ujiri, peed the draft down his leg. You take Merez Johnson Jr. over Yaxel Lendabor? What? What's happening there? And then you have Coa Pete at 30 and then trade him to the Suns, who are directly in your way of making, any headway in the Western Conference. I thought Dallas was the biggest loser by far on the draft nights.
And Portland didn't even have one pick. What are they doing? They're going to go after someone we don't know about?
But I get it. You didn't have a pick, but you didn't completely fumble the opportunities that you got.
Rick, we always enjoy it, buddy. Keep it rolling out there, man. We'll be talking to you again soon. Have a good summer.
Oh, we will, man. We will. Enjoy the sunshine, and thanks for having me on, guys. Be well.
You got Rick Campbell joining us, of course, X-Ray Sports. It's on 11 o'clock, Beyond the Surface. And you could just Google it and just Google Rick Campbell, and it'll pop right up as he's doing big-time podcast. So appreciate his time. All right, it's our weekly Bud Light Peaks picks. Ladies are up 38-16. Got a gift card from Twin Peaks on the line, and it will take caller number 5, 602-230-0620, 230-0620. You're going to pick Turkey versus USA today, Norway, France tomorrow, and Colombia, Portugal tomorrow. Saturday. And we'll need the winner and score of that one. So we got some World Cup. So we need some picks. So get on board, 602-230-0620, caller number 5, and you're competing against
Audrey.
All right, it's coming up next right here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Twin Peaks, Deer Valley.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Unleash your swing at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with all the new Titleist GTS drivers and fairways. Find the perfect GTS driver to gain superior distance, accuracy, and ball speed. Book your fitting for the new Titleist GTS driver in-store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
Hi, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness. You don't have to have an amazing race to the doctor, but you should make time for routine cancer screenings.
I schedule my mammogram and other cancer screenings around my birthday and then treat myself to lunch.
I do too, because, of course, everyone likes lunch.
The C word can be scary, but routine screenings can detect cancer before symptoms appear.
And early detection equals better outcomes.
Go to preventcancer.org to find out which cancer screenings you need. Forgot something inside or picking up food from the store? Never leave a child in a car. In Arizona, heat stroke can happen in seconds. Temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, making a vehicle dangerously hot. Heat stroke can happen even in the shade or when it's below 60 degrees outside. Once you park, always remember to stop, look, and lock. Visit heatstroke.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
That's right. We're out here at the Deer Valley location, thanks to Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. And Audrey joins us here for the first time. She's been on radio. And where are you from originally?
Prescott.
Prescott. How long you been working at Twin Peaks?
About 5 months.
5 months. So it's new still, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
When are you normally here? So if people want to come say hello and visit you.
I'm usually here on the weekends. I usually work nights, mornings and nights, and then my schedule really just varies, but so far it's been mainly nights lately.
Okay. And are you a sports fan at all? A little bit?
More so towards Supercross and
Really?
rodeo.
Nice. Rodeo. July 4th up at Prescott doesn't get any better, right?
Prescott Frontier Days.
Oh, it's the
World's
best.
oldest rodeo.
Yeah, I used to go up there all the time. I love Prescott. It's just a great city. It's got big. It's grown like crazy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
All right, so we're gonna have 3 games that you're gonna help pick. Okay, you got Kevin and Mason that's already called in, and he is given his picks. So United States is hosting Turkey today, 7:00. Everyone's gonna be coming in tonight to watch the match. Who's gonna win tonight?
I think it's going to be the U.S.
All right, good job. And what's Kevin going with?
Kevin's going with the United States of America.
Okay, game number 2. Norway is playing France tomorrow. France is playing pretty good. You may have seen all the Norway fans coming in. They're all doing that, the poll and all this fun stuff in the stands. They're all over the place, taking over our state, or our country, I should say. Norway, France. Who's going to win? France. How about Kevin? What's he going with?
Kevin's got the Vikings. Skull. He's going with Norway.
Going with Norway. All right. Now, this one's going to be a harder question. Colombia is playing Portugal. Portugal is the favorite. Winner and score. Again, it's soccer. So it's 2 or 3 goals or 1 or, whatever it may be. What do you think? Who's going to win?
We'll go with Portugal in 2.
2-0?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's Kevin going with?
Kevin's going with Portugal 3-1.
3-1. All right. So those are the picks. So if Kevin beats you, he gets himself a $25 gift card to come see you, sit in your section, and tip you real good. All right.
All right.
All right. So it is. Tell us what goes on at happy hour.
So with happy hour, we have the $2 off of certain appetizers,
Okay.
like our fried pickles, mozzarella cheese bites.
What's the go-to? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love the cheese bites. I love
Everybody
fried
loves
pickles.
those. Yeah. All right.
It's not part of the happy hour, but my all-time favorite would probably be the Peak Sampler because you get a variety.
Okay. I like
you
it.
get the buffalo chicken tenders, you get fried pickles, you get cheese bites.
Get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, so it goes from 3 to 6, right?
Yes,
And
and then 10 to close.
So you do the reverse happy hour too.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been busy out here for World Cup. So USA today. So are you working the second shift too, or you get relieved?
I get relieved.
All right.
I'm only here for the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, you should maybe stick around if you're allowed to be kind of fun. But anyway, all right. So good job, Audrey. That's all. That was all you need to do. Very easy. So that's Audrey here joining us from the Twin Peaks in Deer Valley. Again, thanks to Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. You can take advantage of those 29-degree drafts. Good stuff there. And Twin Peaks, of course, has been a great fan of ours, and we're a big fan of theirs. And we've been pouring the Bud Light and Michelob Ultra all summer long. So as we get into World Cup, big question, which is part of our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question: is soccer finally a major American sport? For years, we've heard this is the year. This is the year. World Cup's coming on our soil, and soccer's going to take off. Maybe this time is actually true. And the reason why I'll say that, 27.5 million people watched USA in Paraguay. About 21 million watched USA Australia on a Friday afternoon. Both games, both matches outdrew the NBA Finals, the World Series, and the Stanley Cup final averages. So now you ask, is America finally a soccer country? Or are Americans simply watching because the World Cup is here? If you are watching any of the sports centers and the Foxes and all that, and they're showing all the fans and the watch parties that aren't international, they're local. Some of these watch parties are through the roof, absolutely packed. Thousands of people enjoying soccer.
Well, I wonder if
we don't see that in any other sport,
Yeah.
other than maybe the closest thing is on a Saturday in Texas when they're playing, I don't know, whoever, another SEC team or a Big Ten team or
I guess
Big 12 team.
The litmus test for me, Rock, is if that happens, if after this World Cup, that continues on a weekly basis, when you have MLS soccer going on week in, week out, and you're having those big parties like in football, you got tailgate parties, you got people showing up at Twin Peaks on Saturdays and Sundays for football. Would that continue on if this team can get out of the knockout round? If this team could somehow go deep? And so I think as the sport goes, it's interesting. As that sport grows and goes, I think you'll see it become more popular. I think you might see some athletes switch over. I think some of the things I'm seeing, a couple of kids I've coached, they've gone from football to soccer because of the head issues. They're just outstanding athletes, but they're not being able to really grow their skills here locally. They're going abroad.
I just wish the commentators, and some people may not like this, dumb it down a little bit more to really explain the sport more, that it's a defensive type sport. Your goal is to not score goals, it's to avoid being scored on. And that's a big part of soccer. And I think that if they or whoever it is, these commentators, I just, how hockey seems to always have to sell themselves.
Yes.
Women's basketball has to sell themselves. Soccer, I think, needs to do the same thing. And we have an opportunity. I think we're kind of missing it a little bit. I would love to see more. The fact that ESPN can't show footage, it sucks because they don't have the rights. Seeing stills of Messi, it's not the same as seeing 3 goals, in video.
Well, I think one thing, I think a lot of people are watching because they're watching the stars. You talk about Messi.
Well, who are
Ronaldo,
the stars? There's
Messi,
6.
Ronaldo, Mbappe.
Yeah, okay, but you can't name any more.
Well,
there's one for every team.
Yeah,
Norway's got their guy. France has got their guy. England's got their guy. But that's it.
Yeah, but you also have to remember too, Rock. A lot of foreigners here in the way the numbers are. We got so many people from so many countries and from so many states. They're also watching those games. So you got that infusion, international audience. You got that because it's an international game. As far as the states are concerned, yeah, the USA team's a great story, and we're watching all these stars and these teams because we're seeing some outstanding athletes. I just don't. I would love to see it grow, but I don't think it'll ever get to the standpoint of a football or basketball, baseball.
Oh, I know. Well, it'll never get to that.
Yeah.
Education.
Well, that, and I think it'll grow, and to that point, letting us know what's going on while it's all happening.
All right, the registers are ringing today on the money line. Fox could push past $2 million for a 30-second spot of soccer. as Team USA rolls into round 32. The NHL just handed a billionaire exclusive rights to put a second team in Texas. What the W? Ugh. We're going to talk about that, how it affects us. And the Cardinals locked the franchise in the family. We'll get more into that, too. It's not the Cardinals you think it is. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B continues from
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Pay testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Hi, it's Wayne from AMCO, stopping by the station to check in with Roller.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on today?
Well, the biggest question I hear lately is, do you have to go back to the dealer where you bought your car to get service or repairs?
Wayne, that's a good question. Do you?
No, Roller. If you bought a new or a new used car and you have an extended warranty contract that's hiding in your glove box, please don't forget it's there and that you can use it at any AMCO.
Oh, I thought you had to go to the dealer to keep your warranty valid.
Yes, most people do, but that's not the case. You can have your vehicle serviced at any authorized service center. And AMCO is authorized by all of the major warranty companies.
Wow, that's great. It's so nice to have other options.
I'll say AMCO has dealership quality, rental cars, no hassles, and faster service.
Wayne, that's great. And just to make sure, AMCO does more than transmissions, right?
That's right. If you need your vehicle repaired or hear, feel, see, smell, or even think you have a car issue, please call AMCO first or for a second opinion.
There you go. Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO, AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Arizona's future depends on a skilled workforce, and that's why students don't just learn at Pima JTED, they do. From healthcare to technology and construction to design, the JTED classroom model gets high school students ready for college, a career, or both, teaching them the skills Arizona employers need right now. Discover how Pima JTED students can support your business. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. He's ESPN 620. Money makes the sports world go round, and nobody follows the dollars like we do. This is the Money Line, where Rock takes you off the field and into the boardroom, the courtroom, and the bank. The deals, the contracts, the franchise sales, the billion-dollar bets, the business that runs the games you love. Grab a pen because this is your trip around the business of sports. Let's get into the Money Line.
Ecuador just upset Germany 2-1, and they both still advance. But this is an absolute huge win for Ecuador, and they're showing it on the screens here. Multiple fans just losing their mind, crying, just celebrating like they won the World Cup. But congrats to a small country like Ecuador to advance, and they will move on to the
How about that?
round of 32.
Upset to World Cup? From the powerhouses of Germany.
All right, let's get to the money line. Okay, the registers are ringing. Let's get into it. We start where every eyeball is in America right now. Of course, it's the World Cup. Fox is making an absolute fortune off of it. Think about it. U.S. men are rolling. They won their group. They're in the round of 32. And they close out their place tonight against Turkey at 7 o'clock on Fox. Here's the beautiful part for Fox. The further this team goes, the more they get the charge. So watch how this climbs. An early round 30-second spot, a couple $100,000. Put that same spot in Team USA game. Now you're around 750,000. And to deepen the tournament, those spots are projected to hit $1, even $2 million a pop. So if this U.S. team makes a run, Fox could blow past the $2 billion for a 30-second spot in soccer. That's NFL playoff money in America. And for soccer, first World Cup on U.S. soil in 30 years, primetime windows, Fox paid around $485 million for the rights, and they might make it back on commercials alone. Soccer sells, man. It's selling.
The novice fan, the casual fan that hasn't been paying attention, but all of a sudden start to come out of the woodwork big time.
While soccer's pretty money, hockey, the NHL's trying to expand to help get to the top. The NHL just took a giant step towards a second team in Texas. The league handed this guy, Dan Friedkin, his group exclusive rights to chase a franchise in Houston or the capital of Austin. The price tag to get in, about $3.5 billion.
That's nuts.
That's the expansion fee plus a brand new arena. And this guy's big time money. He already owns a couple teams in soccer teams in Europe and Gulf States Toyota family. So if he pulls this off, it's the league's 33rd team, which would make the NHL the biggest league in North America, bigger than the NFL when it comes for franchise. But here's what stings for us. Commissioner Bettman said Texas is the furthest along. Of course, we got Atlanta and Arizona still in that expansion conversation. So chew on this. Texas become a two-team hockey state before Arizona gets one back. That sucks.
Well, it sounds like they've got more confidence. They've got a buyer. They got a game plan. I remember the old Houston Aeros. Remember the old World Hockey League rock way back when the Aeros were playing. And I just think that they've got, okay, everybody step up. Like they do in Houston, you talk about $3 billion to get in. Hell, it probably costs another $1.5 billion just to make the stadium. So they look at the guy or guys that will do this. They feel confident they can get the deal done. Because, I mean, they try to get, I don't know, how many deals done here in Arizona with new owners? They probably just feel more confident. I think it makes more sense in Houston than it does in Austin.
Where there's money, there's lawyers, right? Less than 24 hours after the NCAA passed its new 5-year eligibility model, 15 basketball players turned around and sued. Their attorneys say more than 50 players could pile on. And now this fight's over who qualifies for an extra season. That's the big one. These players say, they got left out in the cold, so the NCAA is trying to figure this all out. But it's going to go back into the courts. So that's what sucks.
Yeah, that's what what they're talking about. Those individuals came in 2022, so they'd be ineligible under the new rule, the 5-year rule. You have 5 years, period, to go ahead and use your eligibility. They don't fall 22. They've already used all their eligibility up, figuring they came in under the guise of the old rules. Now, those old rules came in after COVID, which is you had a redshirt year, you had a COVID year, and some of those extended. So I'll be very interested to see how those attorneys can approach those individuals who gave them 1 year, or if the NCAA says, hey, look, our new rules supersedes or trumps any of you that's from 22 through 23, heads up, this will be your last year. Very interesting to see how this gets involved and how they can extend it out. But I read that whole thing yesterday 2 or 3 times just to understand it. Seems like me, if you got 5 years from day one for full-time students, basically starting at age 19 to move forward. So if the judge doesn't rule in favor, matter of fact, one judge has ruled against the injunction. So they may have one more shot, one more opportunity to play this year.
The annual NIL report, the college athlete compensation is out. The revenue share plus third-party pay, it's now projected to top $4 billion this year. So the spending gap is pretty staggering. A Big Ten school now averages about $48 million a year in NIL. They're ahead of the SEC with $44 million. The ACC comes in at $28 million, and Arizona State and Arizona in the Big 12, $24 million. So college football is now officially a pro league with a salary structure.
I guess the only thing, if you're those that only have $20 to $24 million, you got to hope that the guys that you have with this new 5-year eligibility situation, that they would stay for a longer period of time versus hopping around, knowing that, hey, if I hop after my 4th year of eligibility, I've only got one more year left, and I'd like to stay there based on the new guys. You just think about it, the championships from the Big Ten versus the SEC, and you can kind of just follow the money, the kind of success you're going to have for that particular conference. I mean, everybody thought last year with Texas Tech buying those 4 defensive linemen and paying big bucks for one of the receivers, for their quarterback, would have an opportunity to win it all. No, not at all. They didn't make it out of the first playoff.
All right, over to the Olympics, where every athlete's about to get paid. And you don't have to just win something. The IOC just rolled out the Fit for the Future Olympian grant. So every eligible Olympian can apply for 10 grand, not just the medalists, every athlete. So they've set aside $140 million. $140 million is what they set aside every Olympic cycle so they can make this happen. So it started in Italy this year. The first checks will go out in 2027. Now, to be clear, this is not prize money. It's a grant for your career or the life after the sport. But after years of these athletes asking to get paid, finally, IOC finally has cracked the door. And, because there's so many of these Olympic athletes don't make a dime unless they get some endorsements, but you got to win to get these endorsements.
Yeah, and
they train so hard to get there.
This is a great move because I think to that point, it helps so many of these men and women athletes in reference to the training, because a lot of them had side jobs. Or to your point, hey, if they don't have Adidas or whoever is sponsoring them, some of these guys, I remember going back to 84 with the 4x100 team, each of those guys, I think, made 50 grand a piece because of the shoe sponsorship. And those guys used to be at Mason Community College before the Olympics, the LA Olympics running. And we talked to them. I said, what are you doing? And so we got sponsored by Nike, whoever it was. But they were very fortunate to get 50, 60, 70 grand. I remember Dan O'Brien. We talked to Dan O'Brien about that. He said he was fortunate in order to make a living to go train and have that kind of money coming in where you have to go work another job. Dan and Dave, remember that commercial helped them with their training in order for them to be able to go ahead and train full time without having to worry about another job.
We're all talking about this lockout, Major League Baseball, that may happen in December. Well, the Major League Baseball owners have now just escalated in what is being described as a spirited bargaining today. The league has put a new proposal on the table, and the players rejected it on the spot. The catch is the whole thing is contingent on players accepting a salary cap, which they don't want to do. So the owners offered this. They tried to dress up the concessions basically and said Major League Baseball accepted 2 landmark changes to free agency that have been in place for about 50 years. Earlier access to free agency, and then eliminating the qualifying offer system that the players see as a drag, plus the largest ever increase in minimum salary. So specifically, minimum jumps to $900,000 for players with a year or less of service. That's up from $780,000 to $1 million for those at least 2 years. So they also agreed to let the players 30 years or older with 5 years of service become free agents. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, the whole thing is you hear from the player side is that with the cap, if these guys are on a winning ball club, they don't want to have to move on to go make the kind of money that they're making with their winning ball club. I mean, if this hard cap comes into play, and whatever the number is, you might have
right now it's 245.
Okay, so 245. So you may have 2 guys or 3 guys on the Dodgers that they're not going to be able to keep, that they're going to have to go make more money somewhere else if they want to make more money. but not be vying for championships. That's their whole contention. And I mean, that's how the National Football League.
Yeah, I
when
mean,
you start winning, you can't pay everybody.
Yeah, and there's going to be a floor of about $171 million, and then there's going to be the 50-50 split. Like, the other team, NFL does it, NBA does it, NHL does it, but Major League Baseball does not.
See, where I would like to see the owners come back with even more. So said, look, we'll go ahead and up the revenue share. That's what they did in the National Football League, up revenue share to go, okay, we're going to make this money back. If I can't make my $45 million a year, teams will keep them, but I need 3 receivers at 12 to 15. If I can't keep them, there's got to be some kind of, you got to acquiesce if you want to keep your teams. If you want to keep your teams contenders year in, year out, the hard cap's not going to work in baseball.
But don't you think with the revenue share, these teams could play their books?
Sure they can.
And say, well, we had all these additional expenses that we didn't expect. And we hired so many more general managers and front office people and all these salaries. And so the revenue is, we only did $5 million.
Yeah.
When they really did $10 million.
It's interesting to bring that up because when I think of successful teams over the years were able to keep the majority of their guys together. Think of the Patriots, 49ers have a way of figuring it out. But some of the other teams that may not have that, I mean, hey, Tennessee or Jacksonville, if they start to win on a continuing basis. But with that, you had quarterbacks. You've had Mahomes, you had Brady, you've had several quarterbacks that have extended themselves out and beyond, so they have more money to go get other players via free agency. This baseball thing, Ron, I mean, we may not see baseball to June if they don't get this thing taken care of. June of next year until they get this thing taken care of.
All right, a week ago, we were basically writing their obituary. The rotation was gutted. Bats were ice cold. Now the D-backs have ripped off 2 straight. You got a rookie getting his first big league homer, and you got Marte. He's locked in. They hung 9 on the Cards last night. They're going to go again tonight. Hopefully they can get another W. We'll get into that next. Talking D-backs, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks in Deer Valley.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Our legacy began in 1963. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been your trusted golf shop for generations. From the early days to the present, we've been serving local golfers with excellent service and expertise. Our goal is to empower your journey with the best gear and advice in golf, all backed by our legendary 90-day guarantee. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf is here to help you get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Learn and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learn and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hey there, folks. If you're buying or selling equipment, ride the way.
Ride the way. Purple Wave Auction makes it easy to sell.
Easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve. All online.
All online.
Cruise on over to purplewave.com and get in the groove today.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411 24/7. That's catering to 411 247 or Venencias.com.
Okay.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Twin Peaks, the home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
And the first pitch swung on. That is hit high and deep out to left field. Velasquez going back, and there's his first career big league home run. Lou James Gruber. It comes in the top of the fourth inning, and the Diamondbacks now with a 5-1 lead. Good stuff there. He gets his first career blast in Major League Baseball. So, Lou James, appreciate that. Good stuff. Hopefully you can get many, many more. As you look at this D-backs team, Monday they fell. Then they won Tuesday. Then they won yesterday. Put 9 on the Cardinals, so their bats woke up. And that was good to see as it's a 6-run fourth inning, racked up 12 hits. They slugged as a team 564. And Marte, he homered as well. Tommy Troy, Vargas knocked in a couple as well. Mitch Bratt gave them solid length out of the bullpen. So after scoring 4 total all weekend against Minnesota, they hung 9. So the offense finally showed up. So 2 straight wins, both with bats coming alive. And after a weekend where they couldn't do anything. So you got the finale tonight, and we'll see if
Zach
Gallen can put a game together, because he's just not been the Zach Gallen that I think a lot of people love to see.
Yeah, that was really, watching that fourth inning, incredible to see him lit up like that. You just hope he can bounce back and just find some semblance, something even close to where he was toward the end of last year. He kind of got it together at the end of last year. So I think they got to be hoping that they can get it together, because, as thin as this team is in reference to some of the things that they're going to be doing as far as moving forward, you're going to go take on a Tampa Bay team for 3 games.
Let's just get to today.
Yeah,
why do you consistently look ahead?
Well, here's my story. My point.
Yeah.
You gotta get the bats going strong. They've scored 13 runs last 2 games. I like that. Yeah. So they need to continue to do that.
Okay. But let's worry about tonight. Let's get 4 or 5 runs tonight. Then worry about Tampa.
Yeah, I just don't have.
You always skip the current day,
because Zach Gallen's on the bump until he can prove otherwise. Rock. It's almost as if it's very unfortunate that I don't know, the clubhouse feels, hey, look, we can win, but he's been struggling so bad that management, that dugout's got to be hoping that he can just find something close. I mean, they were pointing out his stuff wasn't moving, his velocity was down, slider. I mean, it was just amazing to watch how far this guy's gone.
He had the worst ERA, the worst
6.10 ERA
in National League for starters. I mean, it's just not good.
And the bats, we don't know who's going to start tomorrow night. Did you find out who's going to be on the bump tomorrow night in Tampa?
He had to jump. Manucci had to jump.
Okay. So that's right.
You know how to use the internet?
Yeah.
Why don't you just look it up?
There's nothing there.
So how can he find it?
He might, because he's right down the hall from the boys down there that cover the game.
Arizona Sports is going to know before anybody else?
They might have the scoop. The other thing, too, is you got Cabrera on the second day, the young man who pitched very well for 5 innings about a week ago. If they get these bats going at this right time, it'd be well needed with whoever. I mean, you got Gallen tonight, whoever you got tomorrow night, but you got young guys coming up these next couple nights. So hopefully they can stay hot, they can find the groove. And as we said a little bit earlier, the bottom half of the order really come through. Troy, we talked about Gruber. Vargas did a very good job. And that's also another area that Troy Lovello and his staff are hoping that the bottom half of these guys can stay hot while this top half sets them up. Because majority of the runs are coming from that top half, and they virtually have got we're getting 15, 20% of their run usage or their run scoring from that bottom half. So those bottom half guys like Troy and Gruber, maybe they're getting used to getting into a groove and starting to get adhered to the major league pitching.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder who they can bring up if there's someone. When you lose Ryan Nelson, you lose Michael Soroka. You're in a jam, and you need to bring somebody up, or you find somebody that's kind of in middle relief. I don't think you can use Mitch Bratt, can you?
Bratt, yeah.
Bratt.
They might use him. Bratt.
Like a Bratwurst.
Like a Bratwurst, yeah. They might keep him and see how he looks. Maybe give him 4 or 5 days, put him in the rotation. I mean, he threw 3 good innings yesterday. They were impressed. He already had 3 strikeouts on the day, only walked 2. So maybe they give him in about a week. They have him as part of the rotation. I'm just very curious to see if they bring up Brandon Pfaadt before the All-Star game, because they're sitting there stretching him out, getting him used to regular rotation, building him from 50 pitches to 60 to 70. I'd always thought, Rock, if your arm is in good shape, whether you're down in the bullpen or not, that they'd have sessions of, hey, let's do a side workout of 2 innings. So let's go 50 pitches just to make sure that you're able to go if we need you for long relief. That was the whole thing for Brandon Pfaadt, was to be the long reliever. So if they feel he's ready either before or right after the All-Star break, I think they'll definitely bring him up. I think sooner rather than later.
It's called a Yelbear, or I think it's Yelbear Diaz. He's a kid who's in Reno. I saw some stuff online that a lot of people are banging a drum on him, that he's the next guy to come up. And if that's the case, I don't know anything about him, but supposedly he's a powerful righty. He's got a real strong arm, and he's the logical next man up if they need another starter for Tampa series or beyond.
Well, I was impressed with Cabrera. I was impressed with Brott. They bring him up. If they've got guys they feel are ready and they stick with the game plan when they bring him up, right now, Cabrera's gone the longest, just 5 innings. Brott yesterday, 3 innings. They can get run production to help these young guys out. I mean, they're basically 2-0 with the young guys pitching. So if they can continue to get that run production and,
that's all. That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing.
Get the bats, wake up those bats.
Get the guys, guys starting to get acclimated
It's
to
so hard.
pitching.
It's so hard to believe that this team is over 500. Yeah. They don't feel like a 500 team.
Well, because, they've won 4 out of the last 7, where before they lost 10 out of 13. Prior to that, Colorado, San Francisco series, they win 11 out of 13. They've just been up and down, up and down. There's been no consistency. Now, 4 out of 7, it's a good mark. They could beat the Cardinals tonight. You win that series, 3 out of 4. You move forward, feeling pretty good about your bats. Your little question mark with your pitching. And then you come home. You come home, take on the Brewers, and you'll be around for the 4th of July weekend. It's just a lot of it I feel watching is confidence with the bats.
Yeah, and speaking of confidence, I think tonight I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed for a South Jersey guy, and Zach Gallen, and I hope, he's having the worst June. He's carrying an 8.85 ERA in June. Of course, he's coming off one of the worst games that he's had in a long time when he gave up 9 earned runs. So he's a starting pitcher worth trading away. I don't know.
Under the circumstances,
they may not be able to.
Yeah.
Even though they probably get something for him.
I think they're forced for now to keep him because
his June numbers are so ugly.
They're bad.
So if he can turn around tonight and just give up maybe a run or 2, get the W, get some confidence.
Or give the front office confidence that they can keep him until Nelson come back. That's the whole thing. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like these young guys coming up, there's someone auditioning them to go against some of these major league teams to see how they handle everything, from getting the message you're going to start, how you handle the pregame, during the game, and how you handle professionalism. I think it's kind of an open audition with their top guys in AAA.
By the way, Max Kepler is eligible to return today off the 80-game PED suspension. He signed a 1-year deal but he is ineligible for the postseason. But he's worth a mention as a name that we could see in the lineup soon.
There's a big bat right there.
If he can help, why not? I think that would be great to see. A bat that I think this team desperately needs.
Yeah, I think from his particular standpoint, come in and contribute. Great timing for him to come in and contribute. Have about 2.5, 3 weeks before the All-Star break. Get himself in sync. Get his spring training in, so to speak, over these next 3 weeks, and help with the long ball more than anything.
All right, 30 days from training camp. Cards have more questions than answers. Nothing new. Longtime Cards writer, Hall of Fame voter Howard Balzer is going to join us next. By the way, if you missed it, Dave Pasch has decided to move on from the Cardinals after 20-plus years as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals. So he is going to now continue on and pick up a bigger role with ESPN. So congrats to Dave. The Cardinals posted a nice 1-minute video at Cardinals.com, easycardinals.com. Good stuff on his goodbye, and gave all his thank yous to Michael Bidwell and the late Bill Bidwell. And the Cardinals gave him a shot back in
24 years ago.
Yeah.
He's 29 years old.
So
young guy.
Cardinals have always been good with that. They gave I started.
Yeah.
Back in 1992.
They let me go in on the airwaves.
Selling tickets, selling little tickets out of the locker room there at Sun Devil Stadium. But coming up, Laz got another Twin Peaks ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update. Then Howard will join us. We're out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs offense is starting to heat up as Arizona picked up its second straight win in St. Louis. Blue James Groover launched its first career homer, while Ketel Marte added a long ball to pad the lead and secure a 9-4 win over the Cardinals. The Snakes will look to take 3 of 4 from St. Louis this afternoon, as first pitch from Busch Stadium is set for 4:45. And you can catch all that action on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy. And when it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Chevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
Happy hour is happening at Twin Peaks, Monday through Friday, 2 till 6 p.m. With reverse happy hour, Sunday through Thursday, 10 till close. Plus, grab 22-ounce Michelob Ultra drafts every Thursday and Saturday, 22-ounce Bud Light drafts every Sunday, and new on Thursdays, $5 Busch Light 16-ounce aluminums. 5 Valley Twin Peak locations, cold beer, scratch made food, and wall-to-wall sports. Twin Peaks. Tell them Roc and Manuch sent ya.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on Sirius XM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, the NFL has officially announced the schedule for the 2027 NFL Draft, and it's going to go into May, as it will be held in Washington, D.C., and it'll be the first draft held there in D.C. in 86 years. It'll be in the National Mall with the U.S. Capitol serving as the backdrop. So the Commanders, in partnership with the NFL and Events DC, have got this going. Joining us now, let's see if Arizona can maybe get an NFL draft someday, is Howard Balzer. Howard, when are we getting it here? Come on, we need it.
What, the draft?
Yeah, come on, let's get it here.
Well, I think that the one thing they're not doing is having drafts in cities that have the Super Bowl, or at least are in somewhat of a rotation there. And most of all the cities that they've had it in are places that are probably never going to have a Super Bowl. So that's what it's pretty much come down to. I'm wondering if next year's draft, are they going to have it all set up where everybody's going to be sitting in the reflecting pool?
Keep them cooled off, right, Howard?
Yeah, that would be good.
So camp opens July 22nd. Still no answer at quarterback. We're going to ask you this every week. Who's your week one starter? Who's your week one starter there, Howard?
I still believe, and I might be wrong. We all know that. But I still think it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. I think they're going to figure out a way to get this whole thing settled by the time camp starts. And I think one thing, I want to say this, and all the chatter about this situation and everybody saying, why are the Cardinals messing around with this? Just move on or whatever. From the beginning, and here's the thing I think people forget, the Cardinals were willing to engage with Jacoby Brissett in discussions about adjusting his contract. I mean, they could have shut it down right immediately. Said, no, we're not doing anything with your contract. Whether you're the starter or not, that's the way it's going to be. We're not doing anything. And then it would be up to Jacoby Brissett to see what he felt like he wanted to do next. And perhaps they might have moved on. But the Cardinals have been open to talking with him about it. They just haven't been able to come to terms on what it'll look like. So I have to believe that as you get closer to camp, Jacoby Brissett realizes that he doesn't have a lot of options. Sure. It's not like there's going to be other teams lined up at his door to sign him, and any team that would clearly be as a backup. So that's why I think they'll get it settled. And we've got a little less than a month until camp starts. I have to believe it'll be done, prior to July 22nd.
And Howard, I got to believe he's got to understand, to be Jacoby Brissett, that he's got another backup quarterback in Minshew in the third round picking back that are right there ready to go. So this isn't a matter of the first one to blink. Sounds like it's pretty much, hey, Jacoby, what do you want to do? Here's our offer. Either we move on or we move off. I got to imagine that's kind of I would think, the position the Cardinals are taking.
I would think so, too. And I'm sure that they probably offered him something, somewhat more than he's scheduled to make, maybe guaranteeing a little more money in the contract. I mean, Gardner Minshew right now, he has more guaranteed money and more money that he's making this year than Jacoby Brissett is. So I'm sure they've offered him somewhat more. Brissett is hoping that they'll come up a little bit. And I think what complicates it, too, is he's his own agent. He doesn't have an agent. And so I think that has affected, to a degree, these discussions.
Is this one of the more healthy Cardinals teams going into training camp? I don't know who's still out there. I know Benson's completely healthy, but it seems as though, aside from the holdout from Jacoby Brissett, that this team will be completely healthy or healed up pretty well going into camp 4 weeks from now.
Well, we'll find out when camp opens. And, well, they said that there's a possibility that Garrett Williams, will be doing some things when camp opens. And there's the hope that he could be ready by the start of the season, but he won't be completely healthy. We're not sure where Walter Nolan is, in that. Tip Ryman, who I mentioned last week when we were talking about the run game and all that, he's still coming back from an injury. So, again, not sure how he's going to be at the start of camp. So I would say they're in decent shape health-wise, but I don't know if it's fair to say completely healthy. And Benson, of course, we don't know either, because a bunch of these guys really didn't do anything in OTAs, or just working out on the side. Walter Nolan III, another guy that we're not sure. Is he going to be ready to practice when camp opens? So, all those things I think are still question marks right now.
Our Dave Pasch decided today to hang him up as the Cardinals play-by-play announcer for television and radio. Did you put your hat in? I mean, you've been around the organization for a long time. You think Mike will give you a shot there, Howard? I mean, you got the stovepipes.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm high on their list, considering what they think of me and some of the things that I've written since I've been here. And so, yeah, I would say that I wouldn't even call that a long shot. That's an absolute no shot. And but it would be interesting to see who they get to replace him. Kind of wild. I don't think that anyone would have thought prior to last year, by the time that 2 seasons rolled on, both Dave and Ron Wolfley would be gone from the broadcast. But we'll see. We'll see what they come up with and who they end up putting in that spot.
I wonder if it'll be somebody local or they'll go outside of Arizona. I mean, I think a lot of us would love to see somebody local that we all know and see or hear all the time. But be interesting. That's one of the best jobs in all sports. I'm surprised, that he didn't try to stick it out and then, retire as the Cardinals guy. Because you usually see most NFL teams, that guy's been there 30 years.
Long time. Sure.
Right. Well, I think with, the deal that ESPN put out there for him, and he's going to be involved in some NFL games with that probably this season. And so, I think they wanted him exclusive. And, he put in a lot of, there were a lot of times there, and maybe they'll, where he'd be doing a game on Saturday in college, and then he'd be getting to where the Cardinals are playing to do the Cardinals game. And so, that can become a little bit much. And you wonder how can you really put in the preparation necessary, to do all that in one weekend. So I'm sure that had an impact on it also.
All right, if you read the statement from the NFL on the Brendan Sorsby situation, very, very clear that the NFL can pretty much rules the roost on the supplemental draft. I thought that the verbiage about him possibly ending the 2027 draft, maybe a possibility for him. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, is he eligible or is he not? Or will they have to determine that as well, too, from his past?
No, I don't think they would have to determine that, because you're eligible for the draft. You're eligible for the draft. The supplemental draft, I don't think it should be that much different. I'm never surprised by the NFL, because we all know they make up rules as they go along a lot of times. But to not have him available, I thought was a stretch. And to say that we don't have enough information on him. Well, you know what? The applications had to be put in by Monday. The draft wouldn't be until like July 15th. So that would give teams plenty of time to do the investigations they need to see, if they're interested in him, find out more about the gambling. all those things. So I thought that was an NFL cop-out. And, we'll see if if his attorneys decide to file suit. People have a lot of mixed opinion on that. But I just don't see how the NFL this draft, the supplemental draft, is made for situations like Brendan Sorsby. And yet they step up and say, no, we're not going to make him eligible. So I'm not, I don't know deep down why they really did that, because the reasons they gave, I don't believe made a lot of sense.
I thought it's interesting the verbiage that they also put in there, that the last CBA, that the NFL has exclusive rights to determine who they allow to be in the supplemental draft, who they don't. They made it very poignant that he's not a member of the bargaining unit, but we collectively bargained that the NFL will have the total authority over who goes to the supplemental draft or not. They made that very clear in that statement.
Yeah, they did from that standpoint, and I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. And here's the interesting thing about it, which, yes, players that haven't been drafted aren't part of the CBA. Right. And yet in the CBA, there's rules about the draft. And so that affects all players in terms of, how the draft is, conducted. So I really want, like I said, I wonder what deep down was the real reason that they did this. And, they could have come up with a suspension if they wanted to based on the gambling. But, they would have had to investigate that in addition to teams to see if it was, worthwhile to have a suspension. But there's been other guys that gambled in college and they weren't made unavailable for the NFL draft when they became eligible. So I think there's a lot of stretching of a lot of these things here that the NFL came up with.
All right, good stuff as always, buddy. Have a good weekend.
All right, guys, take care.
It's Howard Balzer, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter. Covers the cards for Cards Wire at USA Today. He's covered 44 Super Bowls, and he'll be all in on that Hall of Fame coverage with Larry Fitzgerald. So we'll look forward to having him join us from Canton. Vans Golf Shops, from golf clubs to golf balls to shoes to apparel to all the technology, Vans has Arizona golfers covered. They're serving golfers since 1963, custom fitting, and what's very important is the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. You can shop at vansgolfshops.com. All right, Rick Kamala, Alcoa Pete. He joined us earlier to talk about the Suns draft. He will be our Learner in Row one call. That's all. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley.
Right in the heart of Arizona Athletic Grounds, one of the largest youth sports complexes in North America. Bristol's is the ultimate hangout for families and sports fans in Mesa. Come experience amazing double-decker cheeseburgers, award-winning wings, smoked barbecue, and fresh, craveable salads. With seating for 500, a full bar, 20 beers on tap, and over 100 TVs, happy hour Thursdays, Friday and Sunday from 4 till 6, plus trivia night every Thursday night. Bristol's, where Mesa comes to eat, watch, and win.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale Walking Tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th Annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburger Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd Annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th Annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at ScottsdaleFort.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat. The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I mean, I like them a lot. I think it's an absolutely great get for the Suns. I can make no promises or prognostications on playing time, success as a rookie. I just don't know. It's just, to me, it's just a talent grab. And to me, that's what the draft is. Grab talent, figure it out later. But Koa Pete was, on the service I looked at on Basketball Reference, 8th in his recruiting class. He was mocked most of the year in the top 10. He was the second best player, toggled with being the first best player on a Final Four team. And he falls to 30. Help me out with that. I'm really, really struggling with that.
Rick Hamill joining us, formerly of NBA TV. Out there in Florida joining us.
You know, you think about that. The only thing I think of is when he got to the combine, maybe just the lack of shooting from deep or whatever is the only reason why he might have fallen in the eyes of a lot of the scouts, a lot of the coaches. I'm shocked he fell that far too. A lot of early predictions, as he mentioned, top 10, at least top 15. To be out of the top 20 was interesting to hear him fall that far. So, I mean, physicality, the rebounding, the ability to get up and down the court. So maybe there's so much emphasis on shooting nowadays, Rock, or if you're not a big guy that can do things down low, that might have been a knock on him. I would really like to see some of those scouting notes with the knock on him to drop to number 30. But you know what? He fell to Dallas. They worked out a deal with Dallas of being the Suns. He's here, and hopefully he can add another added dimension to the Suns team over the next few years.
All right, today's call of the day is powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. Interact, data check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always at lernerrowe.com. All right, what's on the tube tonight? You have two choices. USA Turkey World Cup, 7 o'clock, Fox 10. As it's the final Group D match at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Of course, Turkey, the team trained right here in Mesa, the Arizona Athletic Grounds. And unfortunately, the wrinkle in this one is the men's team has already clinched knockout spot. Turkey has already been eliminated. So it's pride on the line here, and the U.S. is going to rest a lot of their players. But that's not going to stop Michelob Ultra and the specials at all 5 Twin Peaks locations. 5 location Twin Peaks specials. Also going on same time, Paraguay and Australia will be running alongside the USA Turkey as they decide the rest of the Group D table. Baseball, D-backs, Arizona is, of course, in St. Louis. That'll get started in just about an hour, less than an hour, as they're going for a third straight win. We'll see what Zach Gallen can do there. So got you covered. Twin Peaks, of course, as we got a little baseball. And we got a little soccer.
Hopefully Zach Gallen can pull one together tonight. Went 3 in a row before they head to Tampa, going against McGreevy, who's a solid pitcher for the Cardinals. 3.35 ERA. But you got to hope the bats stay hot. If they can't stay hot, that they've awakened and they can move this thing forward. But I'll be going back and forth, Rob. I'll do that last thing, going back. D-bag, you hit last, you go to FS1, then you go to 34. Fortunately, FS1's 31, 34. I can scroll up and down pretty easily.
You sure?
Yeah,
You can handle
absolutely,
that?
I can.
But
Drive
how-
my wife
but
nuts.
I was just going to ask you, how do you get a chance to do that?
Oh, I get
You
the remote.
clearly never get the remote.
Well, Lori's.
I mean, how do you tell her if she wants to watch The View, and you like The View? So how do you get around it? When do you watch The View later?
Not till later. Yeah, because I want to watch the Diamondbacks. I want to watch.
So do you literally watch The View every night?
Oh, I watch it with her. Yeah, sure
Oh
do.
my
Yeah,
God, dude,
yeah.
you are just.
I learned a lot.
What can you learn on that show?
Oh, you got.
Give me one thing you
know what's
learned
funny?
from Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, you got an independent. You got a conservative.
Wait. Who's the independent?
That's the gal, the blonde gal.
Brunette?
Yeah, no, the blonde gal that sits next to Whoopi. She's independent.
She is?
Yeah, she's independent.
How
And
about
then-
the one in the middle? Is just.
Well, it's either Joy or
Yeah.
or Anna. Anna in the bottom.
Oh God.
Anna's Republican, believe it or not.
Whatever.
Yeah. And then you got Sunny, and then the gal on the right. She used to work in the Trump administration.
Yeah,
for
I like
years.
her. She knows
get
what she's talking about.
You get a
So you
variety.
learn something from her at least.
No, she
You ain't getting anything out of
she
Judy.
tells it like it is sometimes. She will say, now she disagrees on a lot of stuff, but then she'll bring it back to, well, this is what the Dems got to be wary of, or this or that. So it's somewhat evened. But when you got an independent and basically like two, they've got it balanced out pretty good. And then Sunny, she's a former prosecutor. She's Democrat, and then Whoopi. So sometimes they bring out the truth you don't hear, and other times they got their opinion. That's the one good thing. You get three different variations of opinions. And it's funny, with some of these shows, you're seeing more independents, whether they were a Republican at one time or Democrat, they're switching over to independent. So it's just you get the broad, pardon the pun, view of what's going on.
You really don't. You're brainwashed.
No, I'm not
You are
brainwashed at all.
so freaking brainwashed.
Sometimes I see the light, Rock. I see a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
what light is
going
that?
on.
When there's a commercial?
No,
Get the hell off that
Like,
show?
you get
There's a reason why that show is just not doing well rating
It's the top rated
It's
talk
not.
show
No, it's not. You're
in
brainwashed.
the nation.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
chance. Look at the numbers.
It
The
is
View is
not.
the top rated morning talk show for like the 92nd year in a row. They've won Emmys. They've won all that. And so it's one of
What
the
would they win an Emmy for?
Oh, they won several Emmys
For what?
For talk show
For being clueless?
morning talk show, for bringing it, for bringing the view, for bringing the opinion, for bringing the facts. The biggest thing I could say what Whoopi does, I'll say this: if Whoopi says, "Look, if you don't like it, go vote. Get your butt out there and vote. You know, one way or the other, whether you're leaning here or leaning there. If you want to see change, you're going to have to vote." And she's been pretty much that. And I think that's for everybody, whether you like it or not. We have our opinions about this or that. You know, we can sift through the lies. We can sift through this. We can sift through that. And then you can just, at the bottom line, no matter what anybody says, it's about what you do at the voting.
I'm sorry. It's such a one-sided show. And if it wasn't so one-sided, it had more counterpoints, and maybe I would agree. But these hosts are so out of touch. They manufacture the outrage. They shout over stupid stuff. It is by far one of the worst shows possible on television. And
totally-
you are brainwashed.
No, I'm not brainwashed.
You are absolutely
I am
brainwashed.
very educated as to what's factual, what's opinion, and what is dialed in.
The reason why the ratings are good in your mind is because people like train wrecks. So they all stop and will watch this show of train wrecks.
Oh, all I got to do is
seriously, you and Jimmy B probably call each other. You can't believe what Whoopi said.
If they,
I'm like, you guys are so wrong on so many levels.
If they want to look at a train wreck, they can go watch Fox. They can go look at the White House.
I got to ask you this. Let me ask you this. We're done because I know we're talking politics. People hate it.
I love it.
But you and I were always. Well, I've always been right, extremely, and you were always right. And then you got married to a left, and then you say you're in the middle. You're not in the middle anymore. You're now on the left.
I don't agree.
You've gone to the left.
I don't agree everything to the left. I really don't.
But you have
she knows
switched.
that.
You have switched.
Oh no, I haven't.
It's all right. You got brainwashed. She carries the remote.
I lean. No, I do lean more left than I used to because of what's been going on with Trump. That's the
Really?
only why with all the
things
stuff.
pretty bad. Things are bad, aren't
it's
they?
horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
I think we're doing pretty good right now.
How big a knife?
The economy's pretty strong.
How big a knife was that to slit that pool all the way to the bottom? Oh, that's right. They created. Yeah, they just threw the blue-green algae in the reflection.
See, you guys
bowl.
get so weird about
Come
something stupid on
on.
a color of water.
Well,
I mean, come on.
When a guy
Give me
tells
a break. Think about something else.
when a guy tells you it's all
It's
about
the color of water.
Dude,
So what? See,
the
that's
guy
what you get.
lies.
That's what you get. That's why you get so. You guys are so brainwashed that you're worried about the color of the water.
Because the guy lies all the
How about?
time.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it was vandals created that algae. And there's
Your
a
wife has
slit.
brainwashed you.
No, she had.
Your dad's turned it in his grave.
No.
He's like, oh my
No.
gosh, what happened to Butch?
She started to see some. He started to see some of the light as well too.
What a beautiful end of the show, guys.
I
What a
love
beautiful
it.
end.
I love
30
it.
seconds
Yes.
here for y'all.
See, he's not. This is the first time Manuch has actually really even talked about politics because he's always been in the middle, but now he came clean today. Now I'm working with two lefts.
There's two.
And you know, two lefts can't work because our show is off.
Well,
I'm meeting with the suits
hey.
after this. We're off the air, I'm sure.
Two lefts equal a right.
No, yeah, and I'm the right.
Left,
Thank
right.
you. You just said it.
Yeah, military.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Right, Toyota.
Adios.